really good.
Be like, bussin' with the boys, hanging with the fellas, betting on a game. No woman's gonna tell us what to do, and I've been over here just drinking beer and making that noise. Baby, I'm hanging with the fellas, bussin' with the boys.
Bro.
Welcome to Bussin' with the Boys, episode 353. The boys, Spooktober is over. We are now in the Thanksgiving season. Christmas season is upon us. We have Tony Vitello joining us on the bus today, new San Francisco Giants manager, the former head coach of the Tennessee Vols. He will be on the show with us today. If you're watching or tuned in right now, just make sure you are subscribed to the episode. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you're following the boys if you are listening on audio. As always, we are brought to you by the one, the only FanDuel Sportsbook, America's #1 sportsbook. And we've got another week of football starting Thursday night. And you already know how we like our Thursdays. We've got specials with the FanDuel Sportsbook. We've got another giveaway on Thursday with the FanDuel Sportsbook. We even got another little same game parlay with the FanDuel Sportsbook. But we want to tell you about something that we can all get on with the FanDuel Sportsbook, the Thursday night football touchdown jackpot. Three easy steps, boys. And I'm going to say it. I'm going to go through this one time. Step one, open up the app. Crack open your app. And if you don't have the app, it's all good. No judgment. Just head over to fanduel.com/bussin to get that taken care of. Step two, you're going to opt into the promo and place an anytime touchdown score bet on the game. Whoever you think's scoring on Thursday, we have our picks. You've got to make yours. Just pick and select an anytime touchdown score. And step three, this is the best part. Watch the game. Easy as that. Just watch the game and tune in and see if your player either scores first or the last touchdown. That's right, the first or the last touchdown. And if they do, you'll win your bet and a share of the $2 million jackpot. Like we said, fanduel.com/bussin is the place to go. Download the app and get ready for the week, Tennessee. How we doing? How we doing, fellas?
Doing well.
Good football recap show yesterday.
Great.
Broke down a lot of good ball.
A lot of good ball.
Football porn episode. If you like to get in the weeds of football and the X's and O's, Greg Olson, he's great 12, 13 personnel, the evolution of the game, basically coming from the tight end position.
Yeah.
Tight ends have changed everything about football in the NFL. If you're wondering how does Will feel about the Nebraska thing, recap how we're feeling about South Carolina, Michigan, Tennessee, Miami, everything that happened that is in the recap show. This is the Bussin' intro. And boys, Spooktober is over. Another year has gone. Another year has passed. Moment of silence for Spooktober. It's been an interesting year for sure. Last week I sat on this bus while you fine gentlemen were dressed up in your best Halloween costumes. It was beautiful. It was wonderful. There's only one thing missing. The head of Spooktober, the man who dubs himself #1 of all spookiness, was not wearing that. I like to believe I wrote the ship a little bit throughout the week. That's not for me to say, put it in your core. I'm basically putting words in your guys' mouth. I will take the compliment. Thank you. But a hell of a Spooktober for the Lewan family. The Lewan family as a whole. Myself, didn't watch as many spooky movies as I wanted. Didn't get my adult fix of Spooktober that I'd like to get. But from a family standpoint, Disney World, Mickey Mouse is Not So Scary, Halloween. We had the trick-or-treating. We carved pumpkins. I think my kids trick-or-treated 3 separate times, including a Halloween party as well. So overall, I have to give
we hit Nicole Lane over in Belmead.
By the way, dude, if I'm ever going to move from my house in Nashville, Tennessee, that's the neighborhood I'm moving into. It is. They bought in. You could tell there's a couple of bad apples. Like there's 4 or 5 houses out there that either they're too old or they're anti-Halloween. But that whole neighborhood, dude, lined up. There was a tent where adults could go and get their adult beverages while the kids were hitting the trick-or-treating. Willie C hit me up. Hey, we went to this place last year. My neighbor's telling me this is the spot to go. And I was dealing with gout, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But that was trick-or-treating. That's trick-or-treating on steroids, dude. Everybody's dressed up. Everyone's having a good time. Parents are making jokes at other parents of like what costumes we're in. We're all kind of staying in character with each other. Your family was dialed in. I thought
inside out.
Every time I looked at Charo, I laughed, bro. I would see it. And she just and then you'd hear just Charo's voice go saying, "Oh, hey, Taylor." I'm like, "Oh, shit. All right, bing bong." But dude, just so funny. It was outstanding. And there was like roadblocks with the police officers. You get down the street and there was like a firework display where like the finale was the last house on the left. Dude, their display. I looked at Taylor and I go, we got to step our shit up, dude. Like this is, I like to take a lot of pride in the decorations you put in the Lewan household. This house, their lights, their decorations. I was like, this shit is incredible. That is amazing. And Charles' parents too being there too. I didn't even realize it was them.
What do you got, JP?
What stuff about that?
He's like,
Just Will having to be fear. And he crushed it. He owned the role. He crushed the role, but it just doesn't sit right with me that he was assigned to be fear.
Yeah.
That's not Will.
That's not Will.
I hate that got used against me immediately.
That's what I'm saying. Like that, and it won't be the last time.
It's like Nebraska, anytime they show up and play a top 25 team, it's just me.
Bro, it's now there forever.
Yeah.
You put in way too much work to have that be your legacy.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with that.
I thought you knocked it out of the park. A couple things too. You got a little piece of green in your teeth.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, we're gonna get that out of the way. Other side. Yep, one over. Yep, that one. Did you get it? Smile at me. Boom. He's back.
Thank you.
Yeah, dude, the fit was outstanding.
Who was the winner that y'all saw? Like everybody looked and was like, dang, that's a good costume.
I saw one dad in a Willy Wonka fit.
Yes.
But it was like
He even said,
very
"What's up?"
well, like a very well, like actual 3-piece, like probably got it custom made.
Yeah.
I'm like, this dude really sold out.
Good looking cat.
Good. Yeah. Had the longer hair, had the
Yeah.
big hat on, the cane.
I saw him a couple times.
I was with that. Yeah. I saw him a
I eyed
couple
him up
times
a
as well.
couple times. The second time around, he's like, "What's up, Will?" And I was like, "Oh, okay." We were both just not awkwardly staring at each other. I thought he just looked great in the Willy Wonka costume.
Yeah. I think the first time I met, like he walked by, I was like, "Bro, that's awesome." And he's like, "Yeah, you too, Dobby."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh shit! All right, you
You
kind of
too,
know, you
Dobby.
understand my game. You understand my game a little bit." Look at that hot dog. Yeah. Anyway, dude, Spooktober was awesome. It was awesome for the Lewans. I'm sure the Comptons had a great time. Did you guys call pumpkins?
No carving pumpkins. We kind of gave up after last week, dude. I shut down the entire house. I was like,
Oh, really?
hey, Taylor quit on Spooktober.
No, don't say that.
We got to pack it in.
Don't say that.
We gotta. So, just to be clear, are you stepping down or are you not?
I can't step down. If you guys think there's somebody that's more fit at this bus, I can't stop you. This is a democracy. There's no hierarchy here. I would love another opportunity because you're right. Listen, the multiple gambling shows, the ESPN, my brain got too focused on my weekly routine that when Spooktober came, I didn't give it what it should have been. I see where I went wrong and I apologize for that. I could be better. And then it was just, I just mashed a bunch of it in the last week. Mashed.
I do want to throw it out there. I don't think it would be like a democracy type thing of like, oh, we vote for somebody to replace Taylor. They would have to challenge you head on to a spook off. I think it's like a 1v1 battle of the spook.
Battle of the Spook.
I don't think anybody's going to challenge you though. I think you still are the Prince of Darkness, but I just wanted to put it out there, a spook off. If somebody wanted to challenge
Yeah,
Taylor.
the person that I think would challenge me and probably have the most likelihood of success is the person that was just talking on the mic.
I don't have it. I ain't got it.
We'll break it down. You know,
I ain't got
we'll look at the wins of Spooktober. We'll look at what worked, what didn't.
Yeah.
Where there's opportunity. And it'll be a collective brand. Like we're gonna have to get more guys involved. Because again, we were this was a big, massive contract year for Taylor. And I think if you're looking at it front office wise, you're going to have to figure out something replaceable for what we did.
I didn't like any of that.
Yeah. If you have
I don't like the way that felt at all.
I know it's uncomfortable.
And this is,
I know it's uncomfortable.
You make the bed. You have to be able to sit there and be like, hey, why is he saying that? Why does it hurt? Because there's truth in it. That's why it hurts. And I have to sit there and I have to realize, listen, it's November 3rd right now, correct? I got a long ways to the next Spooktober. The longest ways you can possibly get. And there's a lot of reflecting I need to do. You as well. The front office, you guys need to have your internal conversations that I shouldn't be a part of because I didn't earn that right. And I just hope at the end of the day, we get to September and we know Spooktober's on the horizon. You guys can look at me and be like, we're going to give you one more shot.
Yeah.
That's all I'm hoping for.
How many days are we until Spooktober?
It has to be 331.
Let me just type that out right now on Twitter.
It's not 31. It's not
30. Oh, yeah. No. Yeah. 60. Yeah, 61.
No, because Spooktober starts October 1.
Oh, yes. That's another great point.
I know where my vote's leaning. I think it's 32.
Might be 31, 32. Oh, you just tweeting that? Did you just tweet that out?
I might have to be the guy. I might have to just lead.
If there's a guy, hold on. If there's a guy here that's going to hold it, it's not going to be you.
I might have to lead. Like next year, like when merch comes out and everything else, I just might have to be the guy for Spooktober.
A spook off?
A spook off?
A Will and Taylor spook off?
Yeah, listen, we could absolutely have that. No, I haven't. Oh, God. And I know that you just did.
Tweeted it out.
You lying?
No, I didn't. I'm like, now will I, when this episode comes out, so that way everybody's in on the inside joke. But yeah, it's just more of that. It's like Mirror Monday. We just got to take a good hard look in the mirror. We have to get uncomfortable and be like, what's going to push? If Spooktober is going to be a real thing for the brand, we got to remove we had fun as a family. Is like, do we want this to be a hobby or do we want this to be a thing for the brand?
But let's look at the last week, right? You're only as good as your last week in Spooktober. And I think if anyone brought it home, we're talking about eight different costumes in ESPN.
You needed a lot of motivating. I would say the starting point was last Monday when we were sitting here on the bus.
The goal now is to not be motivated by others, be motivated by yourself. How do you beat yesterday? That's the goal here.
He's beating Michigan. It's like last year they're having a down year, but they come in and they beat Ohio State at the end. Yeah, it's kind of it's a reflection.
Yeah. It's a lot of like if there's an analogy, it just feels like the Mitch's fandom. Mitch's fandom in this last Spooktober.
Right. Okay.
And like when I was really challenging him about,
I think we're just kind of starting to try to hurt at this point. Like we've really driven a point home. If we want to have a spook off, that's fine. But
it's like whenever
it's getting pretty scary.
It's like, Taylor, do you really want this? It's like, yeah, I do. It's like, but you think about it, yeah, but I still want it. But I could also, yeah, but I still want it. Like, hey, I could be better. No doubt about it. Did I drop the ball, especially in the middle of Spooktober? No doubt. Did I kind of have a massive Lewan family Spooktober? No doubt. But when it comes to Bussin with the Boys, yeah, could promote the merch better. Could have came in with more outfits. Could have done a whole. I could have done a little bit more work for a much better result, and that's really what you look at. It didn't take much to have the last week that I did. It just took a little motivation, and I needed to zoom out a little bit and realize what we did on ESPN there. That could have been every single week here. So. I'll be better. Someone wants to have a spook off. We can have a spook off. That's fine. But at the end of the day, what's the most important? It's celebrating Spooktober. That's the most important thing. So it doesn't have to be about Taylor or Will or JP or Mitch's fandom that randomly just takes bullets. This is about the opening season of the holidays. And we've opened the season. It was a little bit rough. We got a good one at the end. Now we're looking forward. What's next? Is it Christmas? Is it Thanksgiving? Like that's the now debate. What's going on here?
Yeah.
And let's have fun. Let's enjoy it. Because at the end of the day, we know, hey, this product wasn't good enough, Taylor. All right. I understand that. We understand that. Yeah. If you want to, I feel like there's another thing you want to say, you're more than welcome to.
No, if there's ever space, we get to say a few things. It's like we're really coming down hard on Matt for turning off the TV. It felt like this was a moment where you turned off the TV. You turned it back on. There's some redemption in here. Now you're mad. Yeah. And I think the team, like we've all realized, like, how do we get the best out of our guy? Like, how do we motivate our guy? And I think we've kind of found those. We've kind of found those buttons.
Yeah, and I think the goal now for me internally, when I have my own internal conversations with me, is, okay, they motivated you this year. How do you bring the motivation and stay consistently motivated through 31 days of fright without having them have to come and pull you out of the weeds? Totally fair. I see that. Let me get back. I'm starting to work. It's like, dude, it's like Santa and his elves. Like I'm working towards Spooktober now. Like it takes 365 to have them with them 31.
Yeah.
But is there another analogy you want to use?
No, I'm just, if I'm having internal conversations with myself, it's like, all right, you know how to motivate your guy. You got to continue to coach him hard when those opportunities come. And so collectively we'll all be doing that.
Right.
We'll all be better.
We'll all be
We'll
better.
all be
We'll all
better.
be better.
Yeah. Forget the fact that I just said I can motivate myself and all that. But
I
yeah,
know,
no.
but I'm just saying I know a player feels that way, but sometimes it's like, hey, this is how you got to coach this player.
Right.
This is how you got to motivate this
And then
guy.
a lot of times the player's going to find out, are you going to mature as a player or are you not? And I feel like this is an opportunity for me to mature as a player. But yes,
And as that coach is like, this guy's been on the roster for 4 or 5 years of this.
This guy's been your
and
star
look,
player
this
for
is-
4 or 5 years, and I had it down here. You're going to throw me away right
There's
now?
been several down years.
There's not been several
There's
down
been
years.
several
JP
down
last
years.
year said last year was the best year.
Well,
That's what
because
he
you guys
said.
TP'd my house. That's why it was the best year.
Hey,
Not
we had
because of
seasonal beverages
Spooktober.
every single week. We went out and we went to Spirit Halloween together. We went and got pumpkins together. We got pumpkins to say, hey, these are the personalities. Last year was a great year. You can't look at this year and look at last year and be like, now both years are bad. This is not a great year. That was not a great year. Did it get better at the end? Yes. But do we know, like, hey, one blip on the radar? One blip on the radar is all of a sudden going to change the last 4 or 5 years? That's how losing franchises continue to lose. We want to be a winning franchise. Let's not steamroll. Let's not just, hey, this is a step at a time. Look at the mountain. Now look at the first step. Let's take the first step. That's November.
I think we're going into a contract year.
Going into a contract year.
New contract year.
Is a contract
Re-sign
year.
for another year. And we
No,
just
we're
know,
in a contract
we
year.
know collectively the things we got to do to just continue to push this thing forward.
He's a good player.
As a team.
He's a great player. We just franchise tagged him. We need one more.
One more
Yeah.
perfect year.
Yeah.
All
we
right.
got to get good pieces around him. That's where he flourishes.
Nope. And I'm sitting here saying, Coach, fuck the new pieces. I can do this.
Yes.
I'm grabbing you by the collar. I can fucking do this.
I know. I know.
We all we need.
We don't need anybody else. We got everything we have is right in here, regardless of negativity. We're not going to have
This
negativity.
is not negativity. It's just a learning. This is a learning moment. Sometimes we're going
It was a learning. It was a learning moment. It was a learning moment the first 3 times.
We're going to have to get a chipper out there.
Now it's just negativity.
No,
It
there's
was
no
a learning
negativity.
moment, and I was like, hey, I learned from it. You're like, yeah, but I learned from it. Yeah,
The
but.
goal is how do we make it better?
How many times are you gonna have the conversation, right? If you're explaining to somebody an issue and they say, I got it, are you gonna continue to mansplain at them, or are you gonna let them kind of fucking, they say they got it, let me see if they actually got it?
Yeah.
Because I've got it. I understand.
This is
playing
more.
hurt.
This is more for the team.
This is
I'm
kind of
talking to
turning
the
into
team.
Mitch's fandom. It's like, all right, crazy, but like, all right, I understand what you're trying to say. Yeah, but it's also like Matt turning off the TV. It's like, all right, I still got it. Like, what are we doing here? At some point, I got to be like, hey, I got to defend myself now.
Yeah, you are exactly what I need you to be right now.
Okay.
So we got
Can
you.
we
got the spark going.
You wanna-
we need a
you
pissed
wanna
off
talk
Lewan.
about guys
We got
fighting
him.
through the
We
fridge.
got him where we need him.
People
boys.
talk about Dylan Raiola, broken fib, throwing out wristbands and shit. Like, no one's talking about Taylor Lewan having gout on Thursday, switching to 8 different outfits. No one's talking about Taylor Lewan having gout sitting on an airstrip for 45, 90 minutes waiting to take off, and whether that could have taken out planes when we made it to Nashville. No one's talking about Taylor Lewan having gout with no medicine and his kids walking multiple miles during trick-or-treat and not flinching.
Yep.
Because his kids got to have the trick or treat, all right? They know their dad's going to be there. They know this is his dad's holiday, all right? Yes, Saturday, November 1st, was I up on the couch with my foot elevated, hitting rice all day? Yes, I was, but it was because of Spooktober. It was for Spooktober. Am I in pain right now sitting on this bus? You bet your ass I am, but it was because of Spooktober. So don't come at me and say my dedication is not there, all right? After I've said I've got it, and then you want to pile on. But boys, hey, let me tell you something about gout. It's no fucking joke. I would probably wish this on my worst enemy, but like people I just don't like, I would not wish this on. Gout is horrendous.
How do you get rid of it?
Diet. Like I used to think gout was like a for heavier set gentlemen who treat their body, like that, treat their body like shit. Like I try to be pretty good in the health and wellness category, especially as how many times you dive headfirst into a pile. You gotta stay ahead of the chains a little bit. I've treated my body like shit the last month, no doubt. There's been a couple Snickers laying around late at night in a dark alley, and I think you shouldn't be here all by yourself. I go and take them boys down. I'm paying for it. I earned this. I have to essentially change my relationship with food because this is, like, I hope you guys never have to deal with gout. It is.
Is it something you have that's just like genetic to where your diet can do
I
that?
don't know. That'd be good for the comment section because I don't think my dad ever had it. I don't know anybody in my family ever talked
You know
about
what I mean?
it.
It's just like a month of just having some fun with some food. It's like I do that all the time.
Dude,
I
here-
I go a
catch
couple
gout.
months like that.
Yeah.
Feel like just is it a constant pain or is it sharp when you step?
Dude, it is sharp. Like so Wednesday night, we get there. My foot was a little sore, which I didn't think much of. go to sleep, wake up for like whatever 5 whatever a.m. for ESPN, stand up, literally fall to the ground. It feels like a gunshot, like similar to what you're talking about when you hit your foot injury, like a gunshot going off in your foot, like that fucking hurts. But a lot of times gout's like very like acute. It'll be in one little area of your foot. So you can overcompensate to like, okay, I'll just stay on like the outside of my foot and kind of alleviate that pressure. This one, for whatever reason, it was like the whole bottom of my foot, kind of like the middle area, to where if I was going to push off, it was just so painful. And then through ESPN, like it kept getting worse and worse. And every time I had to go and change into different outfits, I'm like in pain, where I'm looking at Jack going, I'm every commercial break, I'm like, dude, I'm hurting so bad. We get to Friday and I like, it's kind of feeling better. But after all that walking, like the next day on Saturday, I went to like get out of bed. And I like literally, it took me like 25, 30 minutes to get out of bed, to where like Nathan Worksman and Taylor are in the room. And I'm like, how can we help you? I was like, please just leave me alone. Like, I feel so vulnerable right now in my underwear while you guys are trying to get me out of bed. Like, I'm like crawling to the toilet just to take a morning piss. Like, I would think to myself, like, I'd be on the couch drinking a bunch of water, and I would think, I kind of have to pee right now. And I would be so afraid to stand back up and go to the bathroom that another 45 minutes would go by, to where like I'm rushing to the bathroom, but I'm in so much pain that like I'm borderline pissing on myself. That's how much pain I'm in, dude.
Delivered to the
Dog.
door. Just
I would have. There was a couple of times I was laying there and be like, peeing myself right now over getting up is kind of a win.
Oh my God.
That's how painful this was, dude. And it's like, it's not like, oh, I lay down and put it up, it feels better. It's like it's discomfort all day. And when I stand up, like you would see the discoloration in my foot, to where my oldest, when she'd come up to me like, Dad, why are your feet like completely different colors? And like my left foot would be like raised when I had both feet on the ground, because there was so much swelling in the bottom of my foot. Dog. And it's like needles. It's like needles like sticking in the joints of your feet. It's so painful.
Do you not have like one of those carts from the ACL where you put your knee on it and it keeps your foot up?
No, but I had some crutches in the basement that Taylor went and got. But a lot of times with crutches, like you'll put the injured limb down and like assist. I couldn't even put my foot on the ground. I had to like hover. So I'm like doing like the kid thing where you're like swinging yourself all around. Kids' toys everywhere. Because I got my 2 kids, and then Nathan has 3 kids that are all under 4. And so there's toys everywhere. It was a minefield out there.
Yeah.
The point where I just go to the man cave and just put my foot up and be like, hey, you guys enjoy the trip. I'll be in here. And then I find like, I'm a big like antibiotic guy. Like I don't want to take antibiotics. I don't want to take like Tylenol or anything. I eventually gave in, and I'm just like, I need it. So I'm like on a Medrol dose pack now. I'm on a uric acid. Yeah. I'm on all of it. And it's gotten better to where like, literally if it was Saturday, if I was feeling the way I felt Saturday, I'd probably call in sick. I like would not be able to make it into work. That's how bad it was. Like just sitting, I'd have to have it up. It was awful. It was awful, dude. Still is pretty bad.
Yeah. It's honestly, it's crazy thinking like any injury that feels debilitating just feels like this is the worst thing that possibly
It's the end of the world.
Time.
It's the end of the world
like,
for me, dude.
Even say I would, strain my like UCL playing football, and it's like in my elbow, and you like can't do a pull up, you like can't really press against anything, and you just think, God, this is the worst thing of all time. And it's like, well, would I rather have this, or would I rather have a shoulder? Would I rather have a knee, a foot, a groin? And anytime you're going through any of the injuries, you're like, this is just the worst pain of all time.
Yeah. Everything hurts. And it's like your foot starts to hurt, but then once you're in pain for a long time, like everything else just starts to hurt also. Like you start to feel like achy almost. It was a terrible weekend. It was awful.
T's and P's, man. Still battling it.
Still battling right now. I'm actually in a sweat thinking about it right now.
More steak.
No, it's like a once a week thing for me right now. I got to reevaluate everything, bro. I gotta relook at
It's just funny because I
everything.
feel like you've been pretty good for the most part.
Yeah, dude. But my diet, I'm pretty good at my diet, exercise. This last month though, I've kind of like let go of the reins, and I've kind of only getting like 2 workouts a week. I'll see something in the corner. Clump's wife brings in those pies, and I'm like, I'm not gonna eat that. But then I get done with the 2 gambling shows, and I'm like kind of hungry right now. So you have a slice.
And everybody in the shop's talking about it, tasting so
yeah,
good.
how good it is. And I'm just thinking, I got to get powerful about saying no to myself. Like this is an internal battle.
We might need to make like a morning lift group here. at the shop, get over it with the sword next. Just have a
Maybe, man. But it's also like, where are we going to shower?
The issue is
couple, just smelly boys.
the issue is it's just holiday season's kicking up.
It's only gonna get worse.
The colder weather. Now that we
I can't
fell
have
back, it gets darker sooner. Charles made chocolate chip cookies last night. We had chili, and of course, I had 2 peanut butter sandwiches with it. But it's that time of year, bro.
Yeah.
Leftover candy, like I've just been going to like Rue's Little Pumpkin, little bucket, and just one at a time. Every hour, you just make your way over there and grab one. It's a little mini. Eat this right now. Grab a second one. Eat the first one real fast, then walk out of the laundry room with one. Like I had to get a piece of candy, thinking that the first one didn't even count.
Hey, that's so real.
Yeah.
Do y'all do the switch witch with Rue?
The what?
The switch witch?
The switch witch. I don't think so.
It's a little put you guys on game for when you have kids. They trick or treat, and it's like, hey, if you want to do a switch witch, if you put out some candy, the switch witch will come at night and maybe bring you something. So it's kind of like you get like a little $20 toy or something like that, and you switch out the candy. So they make the decision, I'd rather have a toy than candy. And so you just kind of like get rid of that candy for them.
Because I'm thinking I got to stay on top. I can't let Rue eat all this candy.
Right.
So I'm going to eat all this candy.
And dude, with Win,
I don't know where it went.
we have had like Taylor saw this thing. Like if you don't let your kids have like sugar for the first 3 years of their life, like once they have sugar, their bodies, they'll know it's bad for them. And so the first piece of sweet Win ever had was from Will during Thanksgiving. Gave her a piece of crumble cake or something like that. Not a big deal. But she was like 2.5 at that time, where it's like, oh, we've gone long enough without giving Win sweets. Her body is probably going to be like anti-sweets. There's probably not another child on this earth that is obsessed with sweets more than Win is. It's like crack to her, dude.
Probably me.
Maybe, but she's 8, bro. And I'm like, Win, you got to make a decision. She goes, I know it's bad for me, but I just can't stop, Dad. We have like legitimate conversations. I'm like, honey, like you eat this candy, like it's going to be so bad for you. She's like, I know, but I just can't stop.
She's like an addict.
She's an addict. Win is an addict, bro. And it's like, dude, you got to stop eating this candy, because it's like, she'll jump through hoops for a piece of ice cream. She'll jump through hoops for like a little.
Imagine you as a young lad, like that's just, you chase them sweet.
Chase. It's like the high, bro. It's the high. And we saw that mostly at Disney World, where it's like early morning to get to Disney World, because we only had Friday and Saturday, coming back Sunday. And we get up super early on Friday, and it's like, well, Taylor and I are having coffee. We kind of realized, like, you give them a couple pieces of sugar, kind of resets their energy a little bit. So we're kind of keeping them alive with candy, which is like the weirdest thing ever. But the backfire the next 3-4 days, dude, it's like kids coming down, like they're itching, they're moving around. Dad, you sure you don't got one more Skittle in there for me? It's like, no, buddy, we got to keep you away from the Skittles a little bit.
I feel like the way to get this happened to me for a little, like when I was a kid, I was like kind of like Win. Once you go to that first dentist appointment and you got a cavity or like you need a filling, like the pain from that would be like, okay, I can't eat sweets anymore because I do not want to go through that again.
That happens for what? A couple weeks maybe?
It's
you get back in that saddle.
He's right. He's right, because we went in and Win had a couple fillings she had to get in, and it was like, I'm not having sweets, I'm not doing that. And it was probably 2 weeks exactly. And Win's back in there. Yeah. Like my pantry, I try to keep as clean as possible, but we'll get like these like healthy like chocolate things. And Taylor's all about like lesser of two evils kind of thing. Like she's going to have the things in there, but it'll be like the healthiest version of the bad thing. My kids will sniff that shit out, dude. And sometimes I'll wake up a little later than they are, and that fucking pantry's taken down. Step stools are put up. These kids are, they're innovative, bro. The way that I'll put up at the top shelf, they're fucking swinging, catching it, getting it back. It's just crazy what the lengths they'll go to. The lengths.
I respect it.
I do too, but
that's how I was.
That's how we all were.
Hey, look at me.
I turned out all right. You want your kids to be better than you.
Yeah, bro. It's tough. But yeah, man. Spooktober's over.
23% body fat. Quick break from the episode to shout out one of our newer sponsors, Olipop. Introducing the new Olipop Times SpongeBob collaboration, the Pineappleiest soda from Bikini Bottom. 5 limited edition SpongeBob can designs hidden in each 4-pack. Each pack's a little treasure hunt. You never know which one you're going to get. Collect them all and unlock sweet rewards at drinkolipop.com/SpongeBob. I love soda. But most of the time, it doesn't love your boy back. Olipop actually supports gut health with 9 grams of prebiotic fiber and only 2 to 5 grams of sugar per can. It tastes like soda, but it's actually good for you. They have a phenomenal lineup of flavor here. Vintage cola, classic root beer, cream soda, orange squeeze, Dr. Goodwin, lemon lime, and more. Get $2 off a 4-pack of Olipop at drinkolipop.com/bussin. It works on any flavor of 4-pack, including the SpongeBob, and they're at any retailer. So Olipop is sold online, drinkolipop.com and Amazon, and available in almost 5,000 retailers nationwide, including Costco, Walmart, Target, Publix, Whole Foods, Kroger, and Heb. H-E-B. Guys, I love Olipop. Drink Olipop. And my favorite one that they did not mention is classic grape. Go drink some Olipop. We are also brought to you by Blue Diamond Almonds, the snack of Bussin' with the Boys and Big Ten football. Blue Diamond Almonds are a super nut that hits you with that little extra protein punch to keep you going. Available in 20 plus flavors like honey roasted, wasabi and soy sauce. That's a really good one. And smokehouse. My personal favorite is the blueberry or dark chocolate. And this football season, you can win a $10,000 grand prize or 100s of other instant win prizes with Blue Diamond. Just visit bdsweeps.com for a chance to win. No purchase necessary. Ends November 30th of 2025. Open to 50 U.S. states and D.C. 18 plus. For rules, visit bdsweeps.com. Void where prohibited. Blue Diamond Almonds, the official snack of Big Ten football and football fans everywhere. Back to this episode.
Spooktober is over. Now the Tickle Turkey lives. The Tickle Turkey lives.
Yeah, explain the Tickle Turkey.
So Tickle Turkey, I kind of got from one Jack Conklin and the movie Thanksgiving. You guys ever seen the movie Thanksgiving?
Oh, is that the
the turkey?
Yes,
yeah.
OD.
It's a low budget cult film or whatever. But the Tickle Turkey essentially is this: I will go and I'll tickle my kids, and every time I tickle my kids, I go, and that's the Tickle Turkey. Tickle Turkey lives from November 1st to Thanksgiving. That's when the Tickle Turkey's alive. That's the Thanksgiving turkey. Funny ass movie, dude. The movie opens up with just a nipple. Like, it's the funniest. It's hilarious. But yeah, the Tickle Turkey's fun. He'll just kind of, Jack Conklin would do this after Halloween. Jack would just go in and like tickle other players throughout the locker room, walk up behind him and just go and tickle them. And then so once I had kids, I was like, bro, the Tickle Turkey's got to be a thing in my household. So now my kids, every time I'm around them, they're kind of doing this. They're like,
so the Tickle Turkey's just always active.
Tickle Turkey's always active, can always get you. He's not just going to come out though when you want him to. Like Willow will be like, Dad, you bring out the Tickle Turkey. It's like, oh, he doesn't do that. But once she turns her back, boom, Tickle Turkey gets
Is it like a thing though to where it's like on what's it called? Leprechaun Day, Irish Day. St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day, to where if you're wearing green, you don't get pinched.
Yeah.
No,
Like,
yeah.
is there anything you can be wearing that gets you out of the Tickle
nothing
Turkey?
that protects you from the turkey.
turkey.
If you wear, if you wear a turkey, if you're wearing a turkey hat or a turkey shirt, I guess he can't get you. That's a fun little, that's a fun wrinkle. But the Tickle Turkey's out from November 1st to Thanksgiving. The day of Thanksgiving, I told Will, I was like, the turkey dies. We eat the Tickle Turkey, and then it's Christmas.
Okay.
So yeah, Tickle Turkey's out, boys, and that's for everybody in the shop too. You can get tickled. Just know, your boys can get got around here, huh? What are you gonna say, JP?
No, I have a hilariously embarrassing story about similar to the Tickle Turkey. We were at this party at one of our friends' houses, and there was this hallway that a bunch of the people were lined up in, and anytime someone walked through the hallway, they're tickling them. Tickle Turkey, basically. So I'm like, I want to be a part of this. This would be funny. And I don't know if they were just scheming on me the whole time. And I'm kind of first in the order, and this girl comes walking through that we're friends with, and I go and tickle her, and nobody else goes and does it. And I'm like, and it wasn't ticklish. So I'm just like, oh my God.
Oh no, dude.
Yeah, I know her, but not that close. Yeah. I'm like, I'm sorry. I mean, they told me.
She's looking at you like, what the fuck
she's like, what are you doing? Do you have at the time, you have a girlfriend? I'm like, yeah.
Did you make any noise when you were trying to tickle her?
I mean, I don't really know off the top of my head. Just a silent. But man, I was so embarrassed. I was like, I gotta leave, dude. This is a prank set up.
Gidgy.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck?
What are you doing? How old are you when this happened?
This is like 3 years ago.
Oh shit!
Oh, it was like elementary
No.
or middle school. Oh no.
It was so bad, dude.
Did you go for the armpits? Where'd you go?
Side.
Armpits is crazy.
Crazy.
Got to go for the side.
Yeah,
Because if
went for
anything,
the
it's the
side.
discomfort of people being insecure with them little hips.
Right.
They'll be get a
Oh,
little movement
man.
in them.
It was funny
Yeah.
though.
The tickle turkey, man. It's a fun. You should bring it to the Compton household.
Oh, I will.
Yeah.
No,
Shit. All
I
right.
will.
Rusing for some damage.
Y'all think you can make me dress up as Fear?
Yeah. I'll tell you who's in a bad position at our office is Derek. His back to that hallway, like
Blind side is
that tickle
massive.
turkey's getting his ass a lot.
He's got to wear a turkey.
When I first started working here, Clump wanted me to have that desk spot, and for that reason,
for the tickle turkey.
you know, like you ever walk into a restaurant, the old like I have to have my back to the wall so I can see everything.
Yeah.
That's how I felt about that. I was like, people walking down the hall and I can't see them. That would freak me out.
To this day, if I'm at a restaurant, I always prefer to have my back to the wall. Like, what am I going to do? Like some sort of SEAL Team 6 guy. Like, I'm going to protect everybody in here. I'm just scared of getting got, you know? Your back to the rest of the crowd, it's terrifying.
Yeah.
I don't know how
100%.
Derek gets any work done in the shop.
Yeah, and he's
screen's clean too.
Yeah. Never know
Yeah.
what's going on.
Are your Christmas decorations up yet?
You know they are.
They're
I
up.
lo-
They're up full force.
Not Christmas decorations are like Spooktober is already down in my household. Like all the decorations, like we had a crew of people come in November 1. I'm laying there on the couch, leg up. Dude, just everybody, 10, 15 guys just carrying shit. I'm looking at them like, please just don't even fucking make eye contact with me in this vulnerable state. But all this stuff is done. Lights are up now. And I know this is like a disgusting look to you guys, but I've just lost that battle in my household. I don't wear the pants. Like Thanksgiving's already happened in Canada. Talon's beating me down. Like, have it. Take it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a winter wonderland. You want to drive past my house. It's absolutely beautiful.
The upside of it, like if I had an optimistic outside of like disgust that your Christmas decorations are already up, it's just that you have the theme, like you have the vibe that you just yearn for when Christmas time does come. Or it's getting dark early. You got, lights are on, living room, just the ambiance of Christmas is just so pure and good.
It definitely has a good, because like the front side of our house is all like white lights, and then the back side of our house is more like a colorful 90s vibe. And outside of my master bedroom, like there's like a bunch of little trees that are all like in colored lights, and it does give you that, regardless of it being November 3rd when we're shooting this.
Yeah.
Like you look at it and you're like, yeah, it does give you that cozy feeling.
Yeah, like if I'm you and I was battling and you're like trying to come to a middle ground, we can do the interior of the house, but the Christmas lights on the outside don't go up until after Thanksgiving type of vibe. Because again, it's like at least you're in the vibe of feeling nice, all warm and cozy with some lights and some decorations around.
To be fair,
But to the public, like just an asinine.
yeah. But to be fair to Talon, having that feeling, like what other feeling are you going to get between November 1 and Thanksgiving? Like it's kind of like a dead spot, because Thanksgiving is very much like a long weekend type of vibe, as opposed to like a celebrated holiday throughout like a whole month period. So there is a level of like kind of cheating the vibe a little bit for an extra long time, because it's not, Christmas vibe is not one that kind of dies off as you get farther and farther down it. Like you're kind of enjoying it more and more and more as you kind of get up to Christmas. So it's kind of nice. I've bent the knee, and I've kind of like, if you can't beat them, join them type of vibes.
Yeah.
Don't me, JP. Don't you do that.
Can't beat the Canadians, join them. That's what you kind of.
You saw what happened this past weekend with the Canadians. Dodgers beat the Blue Jays. And Quinn was texting me like, hey, we own hockey. We're about to own baseball as well. It's a totally different game. Like MLB, you have a couple of Canadian teams, all good. But that was nice for the Dodgers to take that one. So I have that over my wife's family. It's become a complete rivalry ever since the Four Nations tournament. Yeah. Where it's like they've been talking crazy to me ever since that Four Nations game. And it's nice to have one. I don't really view this as one, but they kind of do. So it's like, yeah, we got you guys.
Yeah, that's a fun family. Like for me, it's like I just got to wait and see if Pacquiao fights again.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot. Like,
no, there is this tennis player. Yeah. There's this tennis player.
yeah, we need to. But did you guys watch that game? Yeah. Game 7. incredible. Like I had zero plans to even watch that game. And then Nathan, you know, he's a big baseball guy, grew up in LA. He's a Dodgers fan, but he's the worst type of fan.
You went to the game with him last year.
Went to the game with him last year. It was his idea to leave. He's the worst type of fan.
Taylor was beating him up on the plane because he flew back with us from New York when we came from ESPN. Because I was kind of asking him for whatever reason, I thought he was like a Michigan State fan, or we were talking football. He's like, I don't watch any football. He's like, I am all baseball. So he was fired up for the World Series, but then Taylor was beating him up. He's like, you got me killed for leaving that World Series game last year.
Yeah, because to me, it was like, I checked the box of being there, but I've never been, like, since I've been 12 years, I've never been like I'm going to watch baseball. But like going to a first World Series game, this is awesome. And it's so fitting that Nathan's like, you're tired, right? I'm like, I'm good. He's like, no, you're pretty tired. We should go. It's like, all right, I'll go. And as soon as we leave, like fireworks take off in that entire game. That's when Freddie Freeman had the walk-off grand slam.
Yeah.
So we get to this year, Dodgers are back in it. That is Nathan Workman's team. Like he grew up going to Dodgers games. They go to this one spot that all Dodgers fans go to. They get these like Philly cheesesteak type of sandwiches. I did the whole experience. He's looking at me saying, I hope Toronto wins. I'm like, bro, you grew up a Dodgers fan. What are you talking about? He's like, well, my team already won. It wouldn't be as fun for us to get another one. I'm like, no. Like you want your team to win another one because how cool would it be to have three-peat? Like that's what it's about. It's like you just want to win them all. And he was anti that.
Bad for
anti.
baseball.
And bro,
So he's rooting for the Blue Jays.
he was rooting for the Blue Jays.
He ain't a fan.
He's
Just
the
for-
weirdest fan ever. And we were watching the game, and it's the bottom of the ninth, whatever. The Dodgers score a run to take it into extra innings. I kept calling it overtime. He was laughing at me about that. He gets up. He's like, I got an early flight tomorrow. I'm gonna leave. And I'm like, Game 7. You're a baseball fan. Your team, who you're rooting against, just caused the game to go into extra innings, and you're gonna go to bed. And he's like, yes. And he left. And bro, that game was incredible. Was it Yamamoto? Who's the guy?
Yoshiniba Yamamoto.
Okay, that
I
guy.
see you, Mitch.
Dude, game 6, this Yoshinido Yamamoto guy pitches 92 pitches and plays an incredible game. They're in game 7, and it's starting to get in this, like, are the Toronto Blue Jays going to run away with it, or the Dodgers going to come back? They get Yamamoto, who's just thrown 92 pitches the day prior, to come back in and finish the game and pitches 3 innings. And it was incredible, bro. Guy's like 5'11", throwing, like, after throwing all those pitches, still throwing like 97, 98. Like, just watching the intricacies of, like, he's down in the pitch count, then he's getting guys to chase wide, he's jamming guys in. It's like one of the most fun games ever. And then this Rojas, was a Miguel Rojas?
Miguel Rojas, yeah.
In the ninth of the ninth inning.
Top of the ninth.
Top of the ninth inning. They're down 1. No one's on base. Miguel Rojas has not had a hit in all of the World Series. Hits a home run. And they're now tied up. Yamamoto comes in, 3 up, 3 down, gets him off. We're now in extra innings. And then I think Yamamoto had the Blue Jays had 3 guys on base, correct?
Yeah.
Like first, second, and third. And they go broken back.
Because they had that play at
Yeah.
the plate that was like,
Yeah.
that was like bang, bang.
His
It was
foot comes
nuts.
off
Yeah.
and goes back on. And then Mookie Betts from shortstop gets a ground ball, steps on second, wins the game by having a double play. Like, it was like probably the only time since I've been like 12 years old, I'm watching a baseball game like, this shit is unbelievable.
It was a sick game, but the Dodgers winning is awful for baseball because
Why is that?
the
Super rich franchise.
the biggest thing that's been going
Are they
on,
the highest paid?
Yeah, so Shohei's contract alone is like more than the entire Pittsburgh Pirates like payroll. Like, so it's these teams like the Dodgers can just afford to pay all of this money to all of these players, but it's like not even fair. Like, the Pirates will never win a World Series. All of these lower tier teams will never win a World Series because they can't afford all of these players. Like, that's why you see all of these really, really good guys going to the Yankees, going to the Dodgers, going to the Mets, because they can afford to like pay them and like give them all this money.
Because there's no cap, right?
There's no cap. So that's what, but like, it's bad for baseball in the sense of like, this just continues to happen, but it's good for baseball in the sense of, okay, this is proven like that we may need a salary cap, but it's insane because Bryce Harper, or like earlier in the season,
I saw that. Yeah.
there was a meeting about, hey, we're going to have a salary cap, and Bryce Harper went up and was like, if you're here to talk about a salary cap, get the fuck out of here, because we do not We do not want that. But it's like insane because it's just, imagine like the biggest market teams in the NFL always win, and like the Titans, they're the smallest media market, have no chance to win whatsoever.
Is there, for any baseball guys, Chef, you seem like you're itching to get in this conversation. For the baseball guys, is there a leverage play for the league to make it a salary cap? Because it just sounds like they just don't have. They wouldn't have the leverage.
If you're a player, you don't want a salary
if
cap,
you're
right?
if we're speaking for, like, if this was going down in the NFL, you'd want the biggest stars to be saying the same thing Bryce Harper's saying.
You want this conversation taking place in the NFL when it was Kirk Cousins getting a guaranteed contract.
Right. You're wanting your
suit
superstar guys like throwing their weight around to get basically no salary cap. You just get paid as much as you possibly can.
Yeah, so it's looking like that the MLB and the Players Association could possibly go into lockout, and then it becomes basically the MLB will have a lot of more leverage going, hey, the Dodgers are...
Is that the man right there? A great guy to come in on the conversation.
Yeah, great guy to come in.
How we doing?
What's up, brother? Good to see you, man.
What's up, dude?
What's up, bro? Fellas, before we get into Tony Vitello, we got to finish off the episode. There is a new Buffalo Ranch sauce that has arrived at McDonald's.
Ooh.
McDonald's is now a sponsor of Bussin with the Boys. Massive
Golden
brand.
Arches, boys.
Massive brand. And what was that? Did we hear a little? Did somebody toot? That must have been, the Mickey D's. There's a new Buffalo Ranch sauce that has arrived at McDonald's, and it pairs perfectly with your snack wrap, a McCrispy sandwich, or those new McCrispy strips. I will let Sherm speak to that in a second. It's got the tangy zang of buffalo with the creamy cool of mild ranch. It's mild and wild at the same time. It's a sauce that balances itself and complements our crispy chicken. Fellas, look, the snack wrap jumps out at me.
Mm-hmm.
The McChicken or the McCrispy chicken sandwich jumps out at me.
Banger.
When using this buffalo, the zesty, zangy, tangy buffalo sauce.
Yeah.
Mild and wild.
I'll tell you what I used to love to do as a kid, and I still continue to love to do now, is going to the regular cheeseburgers, the 2 for 99 cents deal that it used to be, like the 2 cheeseburgers. I would get mac sauce on those things. This new little sauce we got talking about, I think I'm going to find myself in a drive-thru real soon, getting those 2 cheeseburgers, but go and put that zesty buffalo ranch on there. You know what I'm saying, kid?
Yeah, sure. You were just talking about the chicken strips at McDonald's. I have yet to have the chicken strips.
I'm a big chicken nuggies guy. I've always loved the McDonald's
20-piece
chicken nuggies, right? That's the staple. But these new McCrispies, they are really, really good. I usually dip them in honey mustard. I have yet to try this new sauce. I know what I'm having for lunch today.
Big sauce guys.
Today.
Big sauce guys on the bus. And
you approved that with a photo, too.
Yeah. And Sherm Dog, there's a new sauce in town at McDonald's, the tangy, creamy Buffalo Ranch. Order now. And there is this final bite segment that we're going to dive into, of which something that we want people to be thinking about as they're dipping their sauce and eating whatever little combination they're going to have with this Buffalo tangy, creamy Buffalo Ranch sauce.
Ooh.
Maybe a final take, maybe a take, a thought, something we want people to be thinking about going into this football weekend.
I like that. Do you mind if I go first?
Go ahead, please.
Something off the top of my head right now that we kind of talked about in the reaction show, and I'm going to bring it over to the Bussin intro part of the show, is let's talk about the NFC East for a second. It's done. It's over. We might be in November, but as far as I'm concerned, the Philadelphia Eagles are taking that thing, they're running with it. It's over for the rest of that whole entire division because they're just falling back and back. So if we want to look at playoff implications, I'm already going to go in, not just pencil, I'm going to pen in the Philadelphia Eagles into being NFC East champions.
Me is you want Dallas fans that tune in, Washington fans that tune in, and Giants fans that tune in to be sad dipping their McCrispy strips in this buffalo tangy sauce, thinking that this season is over for us.
I know what the Golden Arches has provided to this beautiful country for many, many years. And if it can cure one thing, it's broken hearts. Yeah. And the broken hearts of the Commanders, the Cowboys, and the Giants. Listen, Giants, I think you've got nothing to be upset about. Like, you lost Cam Scatterbo, but Jackson Dart, quarterback of the future, Dayball saved his job. Cowboys, I can see you guys getting sad because you have a Super Bowl caliber offense, but your defense is poo-poo Magoo. Now you look over at the Washington Commanders and you just dislocated your your quarterback's elbow when you're down 38-7. Those two have a lot to be sad about. The Giants, you can go over, hit that drive-through, get that zesty Buffalo Ranch, and you're going to feel all right about having the McChicken strips. What are they called?
The McCrispy strip.
McCrispy strips. And the Eagles, too, grease the poles, grease me up, send me to McD's. You know what I'm saying? Get you some of get you a little Happy Meal. You know what I'm saying?
I like that take.
I like it. I'm having fun with it. And you know, I was dating the Cowboys for a minute. I was in love with the Cowboys for a hot second, but that flame burned bright. And now I'm kind of thinking to myself, boys, it's time to back up. We got to get out of this toxic relationship and just realize the Eagles are going to keep flying.
This new Buffalo Ranch that people are going to be dipping into this week, I want Husker fans to think about this. TJ Lateef. Over 300 all-purpose, over 300 yards through the air, combined through the air and on the ground.
Through the air, combined through the air.
Yeah, TJ Lateef going out to UCLA night game. Going to be tough getting up after this emotional loss to the USC Trojans. As you were in sad boy season thinking about what's TJ Lateef going to do this weekend, I'm telling you right now, it's over 300 yards.
It's so funny you say that. Because do you know what Lateef is French for?
Buffalo sauce.
Zesty Buffalo Ranch. That is actually what it's French for. Yeah.
Hold on.
Google that real quick. Make sure. But I took French in high school.
Yeah. It's the Buffalo Ranch, creamy Buffalo Ranch.
Creamy Buffalo Ranch.
Lateef.
And when he does, 9-3 is alive and well.
Buddy, 9-3 has never died. No fibula is going to stop 9-3 in Nebraska Cornhuskers.
That's mine. Gentlemen, do you have any back there?
Yeah,
a final bite going into the weekend?
As you're dipping into that creamy Buffalo Ranch sauce, just think to yourself real quick.
Ooh.
Could 40-year-old Joe Flacco win the MVP?
MVP?
Just think about it as you're tasting that sauce, eating the McCrispies. Could he win it? Something to think about. Be in the conversation.
Have a conversation. Ignore everything else that's happening in the NFL world and just focus on Flacco. Joe Cool. 700 yards in the last two games.
About Joe Flacco.
Mine is separate of football. Is that against the rules?
It feels like it is, but go ahead.
Insulated denim jackets are back. That's what the people are saying.
Really?
And just as you're dipping those McCrispy
Somebody might have an
strips,
insulated, what are they? Insulated what?
denim jacket.
Insulated denim jacket on right now, dipping.
Oh,
That
bro, if they're
McCrispy
dipping
strip.
in a denim, come on.
And just think about it as you're dipping. Like, we're not wearing enough denim right now. Denim's like, I think it's back.
I don't have any denim on right now. That's how kind of naked I feel. After you talking about that, if there's an individual out there that is listening to this thinking, I'm dipping in denim right now, please tag us in a photo. Tag us in a photo because we'd love to see you dipping in denim.
Hashtag denim dipper.
Yeah. You know what? That's my favorite take. That is my favorite take. And I think we need, as Bussin' with the Boys, might need to go to a McDizzles, set the tone for a dipping in denim. Yeah. Hashtag dipping in denim.
Yeah.
See what we can do. Willie?
Or just go, we get a photo together and we just drop it, no caption. And the tier 1 sickos know.
They let the world know that we're doing what?
Denim and dipping.
Nope.
Dipping and
said
denim.
it enough times. Said it enough times for you to remember. I'll do
Dipping
it one
in
more time.
denim.
Or dipping in denim, baby.
Dipping in denim.
Or dipping
By
in
the way,
denim.
this new buffalo sauce available for a limited time at participating McDonald's while supplies
Are you
last.
serious?
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's going to be a hit.
Yeah. Well,
This is a sauce country.
Think of all the things that McDizzles has done back in the day that has been hit over hit, like nostalgia, but the McRib, the McFlurry.
The smell of hot breakfast.
Oh, pancakes. You open that thing up, dude, it's like, what? This is a fast food place? I don't know. It's fine dining out here, man.
Yeah, dude.
It's incredible. Syrup sauce.
The Egg McMuffies.
Dude,
Let
the
me talk-
McGriddles.
Let me talk to you about a McGriddle.
Let me know about the McGriddle.
I would have this, it was basically A+ hour in high school as a senior, to where A+, you could, if you were gifted this luxury, you could go off campus and go to, for me, it was middle school. I would go and shadow my 8th grade football coach in his like health PE class. I don't even know because I never went to it. He would just give me the sign. He'd give me what I needed. And me and a couple of my boys, we'd rip over to McDonald's and it'd be like it'd be our breakfast every morning, second hour. And we'd pull in and we talk about this cashier behind the register as he's like a rival's recruit. Like he's like a 5-star. He understood the game and the operation of McDonald's. We thought he should own one day because of how much work this guy put in. But we'd get the the little breakfast burritos, the little twofer.
Fire,
little
by the
twofer.
way. Little chunks of sausage in there.
We'd get the meal with the McGriddle, and I would unpack that thing like I was in the dark and the candle was next to my nightstand, and I would be unpacking this McGriddle. I'd pick it up. We'd have this foreplay we'd do with it where I'd smell it. I'd take the entire environment in before I took a bite of the McGriddle. And taking a bite of that McGriddle, I don't know if you can hear my voice right now, but my mouth was watering.
Oh, buddy.
And
That boy sounds like a faucet. Talking through a faucet right now.
We would throw Rose Sparks in and just enjoy a good 15 minutes.
In 7th grade?
Yeah. I was a junior, senior in high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you said something about middle school earlier.
That was my
Body.
football coach. And we'd enjoy every day, second hour. It'd be, where are we going? We know where we're going. That was a stupid
It's
question.
dumb.
Throw up, what is it? Stone Sour, looking at you through the glass. I'm looking at you through the glass. Don't know how much time has passed. Oh God, it feels like forever. No one ever tells you that forever feels like home. Sitting all alone inside your head.
That was.
How do you feel?
How do you feel?
So much to
First
question.
Yeah, dude, I know that one.
We throw that
I actually
tune
do
on.
know that one. I just don't know that
We
one.
throw that tune on. Or to be hindered, touched like an angel. Touch like an angel, kiss like an angel.
Lips of an angel.
Lips of an angel.
Hey,
Honey,
Mitchie.
why you calling me so late? It's kind of hard to talk right now. Those would be the bangers. You guys just took me back to a moment. Shout out
My
to Don's.
girl's in the next room. Sometimes I wish it was you. I guess we never really moved on.
That was good. That was really good.
Wanna hear your voice?
Saying my name, it sounds so sweet. People tuned in. They're like, God, we can't wait to listen to Tony Vitello.
Yeah, but they had no idea they start dipping in denim. That's what they didn't know about, dude. Can I just give you, I know Will just told a cute little story. Can I just give you mine real quick? Yes. Young 3-4-year-old Lewan, all right, just freshly into Scottsdale, Arizona. My father, he worked late hours. He worked early mornings as well. But every Saturday, your young Taylor Lewan would get up at the crack ass of dawn around 5:30, 6 a.m. And right around the corner from our house was what? A McDizzles. And my dad would take me across the 101, sit in that McDizzles, get me a couple of them pancakes, a couple of them breakfast burritos. I don't even believe the McGriddle wasn't even a thing at this time, all right? We're talking about the 90s, babies. And I would sit there, and my dad would read the morning newspaper with a McDonald's orange juice while I ripped apart that ball pit alone, because ain't no kid got the luxury I did on a Saturday morning that my father gave to me when I was just a young buck, man. So shout out McDee's, keeping families together since 93.
Keeping families together since 93. Before we do get into the episode, we are doing this collaboration with Folds of Honor. Do you mind bringing up? So we have these hats here that you can go on our site right now. And what we're doing is in honor of National Veterans Month, Bussin with the Boys is partnering with Folds of Honor to provide scholarships for the families of fallen or disabled service members. 50% of net proceeds from every purchase will support this mission. We had the privilege of playing in a couple of their softball games here in Nashville, and the team at Folds does such a great job, so we wanted to kind of do our part and collab with them on National Veterans Month. All you have to do is go to bwtb.com to pick up some merch and support their mission. Again, 50% of net proceeds will be going to that mission.
Don't forget about this shirt as well. The shirt is out there, Folds of Honor shirt.
Yeah.
Got the red, white, and blue on there too. But yeah, man, anything you can do to help our vets, our people that are affected on a daily basis, keeping our freedoms free, man. This is a beautiful time.
Yes, and you'll see it at the top of this interview with Coach Vitello. We also, the licensing deal that we got to do with Tennessee is now going through. So these hats for Tennessee Vols fans will be up in our shop as well at bwtb.com. We gifted Coach Vitello the first ever one.
First ever one. We should have signed it for him.
Yeah, we should have. As his gift to go to San Francisco. We will love him forever. We will miss him forever. This was an incredible interview. I think you're going to love the conversation. We were very ripe in the baseball industry.
Right.
So we had a lot of
watched
questions.
Game 7.
Had a lot of questions. Yeah. Yeah.
Just remember this, boys, as you go into this episode. The Giants are going to be contenders this year, San Francisco Giants. The Eagles are going to win the NFC East. And by God, we're dipping in denim. That's what we're doing out here. Let's get into this episode. Subscribe, please, for the love of God, and rate 5 stars.
Before we jump into this interview with Coach Tony Vitello, this interview is brought to you by Bud Light. Bud Light is always brewed with 4 simple ingredients for a clean, crisp taste. And Bud Light is the official beer sponsor of the boys, the NFL, NFL Draft, Tight End University, the UFC, and Shane Gillis' 2025 tour. And partners include Peyton Manning, George Kittle, Baker Mayfield, Emmitt Smith, Shane Gillis, Post Malone, and Dustin Poirier. Stock up now on Bud Light. Head to www.budlight.com/locator to find a store near you. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy this interview with Coach Tony Vitello.
We were just talking baseball.
Yeah.
Just talking about the Dodgers.
Wild Game 7, Wild World Series.
Yeah. And then we're, oh yeah, toss that over here.
So let's start with the first.
Let's start with a gift.
Thank you so much.
Let's start with a gift. I know you just left.
Yeah.
But this just got, I think we just got this approved, correct?
A licensing deal with the University of Tennessee to like make these hats.
And we want to give you the first one.
Yeah, I still want to represent. Got a lot of blood, sweat, and tears with that recruiting class that's there now, and I guess coming in too.
God.
So on this conversation, what were you going to ask?
What was the consensus on the
so
Dodgers deal there?
I'm not a massive like baseball guy. Like I'll watch the Cardinals if they go to the playoffs and stuff and get fired up with everybody else. But they're sitting there breaking down the World Series game. I caught until they went in extra innings, and then that's when I went home because Nebraska just lost to USC. So I needed to go home and go to bed because I was miserable. But Mitch is saying like LA winning is bad for baseball because of how much money that they have to afford the team.
I mean, I think it's great to have.
You put that mic a little closer to your face. Sorry, you just get thrown in the fire right there. And also,
new manager for San Francisco Giants. Yeah.
And,
is it bad for
first
baseball
question,
that the Dodgers won?
I got gifts. Anything I say about the Dodgers is certainly going to be of interest in San Francisco. But no, this is a pretty badass setup. I appreciate y'all having me. And I think, whether it was the Yankees back in the day with baseball or it's the Chiefs and football, I think it's good for sports in general and the sport that's in specific to have kind of a target or a standard that's set. And it's college now too. Like it or not, money talks, and it's going to be a big part of it. But you can't just buy your way to a championship. There's still got to be the right people in place. And then eventually, too, those people got to, make the plays. And I'm sure you guys were diagnosing that game. There were a million different plays that could have went one way or the other. And then you get stories, too, of people rising up. One pitch, it could have went the other way, and now you got the Blue Jays. The Brewers were kind of trying to do this, the little engine that could. And obviously those teams got stud players, too. But it's fun to cheer for the underdog, and then it's good to have that, enemy number one.
Like
or
villain.
Americans, I think, are hard workers overall, but it's a little lazy and a lot easier to cheer for who the best is.
Yeah.
So there's always going to be people that pick a side. I think, I'm not at Tennessee anymore, so I don't say it arrogantly, but our 22 baseball team was one that a lot of people just picked a side. They either hated them or they liked them. And I think overall it was good for college baseball.
Oh, 100%. Because you're getting to join up with who is the psycho that has all the celebrations?
Drew Gilbert.
Yeah.
Psycho loves being choked from the video they showed us in the pre-production meeting.
That could be diagnosed a lot of different ways.
Yeah, different. There's going to be a therapist on the back end of that career at some point, but you got to love what's going on right now.
He's in the dugout, like humping the dugout.
Yeah, slapping the side. Some dudes are just walking up to him, choking. He's just loving it. Like, this is the type of cat you want around.
Yeah, no doubt. It'll be a good bridge for me. Obviously, I'll be learning a lot on the fly, but to have someone like that in your clubhouse, no matter where you're at, you constantly have energy. And our sport has a bigger sample size than any other, so it's very repetitive. And if it's boring or there's lack of personality, it's not going to be fun to come to work come August or later in the season.
Is that something too, like when you were with Tennessee, it's like you guys did have kind of this bad boy image, but just allowing your players to like be themselves to kind of keep that energy during all those monotonous, repetitive days?
I think so. I mean, I think
because now you got 162 games, you got to do it.
Yeah, it'll be different. That's for sure. And during the press conference, the first question out of the chute was reminding me that I not only not in the big leagues as a player, wasn't even close, but haven't been in pro ball. So I don't know what I don't know, but yeah, every day for us in the fall and in the spring in college was a new day, and you try and some are better or more entertaining than others, but it's a blank slate and you try and make it something fun and something memorable. And, there's nothing more fun and memorable than winning.
Yeah.
How did this job even happen? Right. Because this is the first head coach of a college baseball team
Yeah.
to become a manager at MLB team. Am I correct in saying that?
Yes.
And so how did this conversation start? Did your agent call you, say, hey, by the way, the Giants are looking at you? Like, explain to me the process.
Yeah, it was a little bit, it was organic. And if you really reflect on it, it was kind of drawn out because the conversations have always gone on with college coaches and big league teams, especially in the summer. And, I remember taking a call on our guy, Gavin Keelan. He was a second baseman shortstop for us. The Giants took him first overall, one of our best players this last year. So there was a lot of conversations, not just about him, but like, what's going on with our program? How do you guys like to do things? Just idea sharing. Mm-hmm. And then with Drew Gilbert, also came over Blade Tidwell, one of our pitchers. They were both involved in that trade. So, hey, what can you tell us about these guys? And so with those conversations, a little bit of a co-op started there. And then, I don't know who gets full credit. I mean, Zach, the GM, Buster is obviously, in charge as well. Somewhere along the line, someone floated the idea of basically trying something new. And San Francisco is about as innovative. I mean, there's AI stuff everywhere, buildings and corporations. And so just an innovative idea. And I feel blessed to be the guy, but I'm also the guinea pig.
Yeah,
So
that is true.
We'll see how it goes.
I'm sure it's going to be hard to just hammer your ego, but what do you think it was for San Francisco and the things that you're doing or the things that they were hearing that dove deeper into getting you to San Francisco?
I think, and it's easy to be humble because I think it was more the concept. And so I was a guy who maybe fit that profile. So we're going through that now with trying to hire a coaching staff is what's the profile we want, and then pick out of a group of guys that maybe fits that profile. And it was something new. Pat Murphy has been looked at, I think. I mean, I don't get on social media a lot, but Pat Murphy's a former college coach at Notre Dame, at Arizona State, and now he leads the Brewers to, if I'm not mistaken, the best record in MLB baseball this year. And he's kind of got that more, I don't want to say, it's not really about college versus pro ball, but just a little more of the old school coach mentality when coaching his team. When we grew up, like, you knew Bobby Cox and Whitey Herzog, where I grew up in St. Louis. Like, he was a manager that everybody knew, and there was a certain approach to it where his teams all kind of have the same culture. And I think baseball's swinging back a little bit towards that coach deal as opposed to the analytic guy in the office.
Yeah,
that's
Moneyball.
Yeah.
Is it like that old school? Is it like old school too, kind of mixed with the younger, like a younger swag? You know what I mean? Like, I would say you're like a young Thundercat kind of coming up into this situation.
I think energy. I think when you're around guys like Drew and then our fan base, like a lot of times the fans at Tennessee are about as good as it gets. And so when they come up with an idea, whether it was yours or not, you're kind of, if you're wearing orange, you're involved in it. So I think people think I got a lot more swagger or confidence than I truly do. I mean, if I was more confident, I would have been a better freaking player. But I'm fortunate to be in the dugout with guys like that. And so I don't know that it's more swagger. I think naturally what I do have is energy. Like at the field, it just is, it's a vibe. It's fun to be there. And so I think it's more of an energy thing. And again, winning will bring about swagger more than anything. So hopefully that's the case. There's some good players on the roster, but I think energy is a part of it.
Yeah, just a Missouri boy doing it big, man.
Doing it big.
Missouri boys.
How much time have you spent in San Francisco so far?
It was really 3 days with the press conference and again, trying to hire some staff and things like that. But when I was younger, I played college ball in a summer league out in Salinas, California. Small town, great people, just south of San Jose. And a guy that played for my dad, Bill Miller, if you've watched the specials on the Red Sox coming back from 3-0 against the Yankees, he's actually the guy that gets a hit off Mariano Rivera to start the first comeback game, and then ultimately they win. Bill was with the Giants, so we'd go watch him play. He'd get free tickets, and you're in what I thought was the coolest park I'd ever been in, and you get to explore the city. And fortunately, Twitter didn't exist then, and I didn't have a job, so it was a little bit more free reign.
A little bit more free reign.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool area.
So now, what's the process for you? Are you keeping a place here in Nashville?
Definitely in Nashville for sure. This place is phenomenal. Whether it's, just running into you guys like at the restaurant or the grocery store, I'm sure you get bothered everywhere. So sorry if I bother you guys too, but running into you guys, the connection with country music, some friends I've formed. You're in the middle of the country, so both coasts are kind of accessible. Mm-hmm. This is just a phenomenal place. So yeah, definitely looking forward to sticking to a place here, and probably even. The fans were awesome to me at the football game Saturday, so as long as that continues, I'd like to still be in Knoxville a little bit. I mean, like I said, the other coaches had a lot to do with it, but for the next 3 or 4 years, I'm going to be pretty closely tied to some of those players.
Yeah. What are the biggest differences in being like the head coach of a college baseball team and then being a manager in the MLB?
I think just that recruiting, you can have a voice maybe with trades or free agency, and I think that's, something that pro players look at as, what park do I want to play in? What city do I want to live in? What coaches? So it's not like recruiting completely goes away, but you're not in charge of your roster anymore. Yeah. Which free up some more time to go to UFC or whatever it might be, maybe. But then too, the amount of sample size, and then the kids you work with in college are so impressionable. They'll latch on to about anything you'll give them. And I haven't, again, I don't know what I don't know, but I assume a 35-year-old that's in the big leagues for a while, he's pretty much got his system figured out. Yeah. And so it'll be a little bit different of a co-op or relationship there.
Yeah.
With when you got the news that you were going to be the next Giants manager, I'm going to have a hard time not saying head coach. How do you tell the Tennessee team?
Yeah, my non-friends or non-baseball friends are all like, manager, like, are you managing a Walmart?
So you're technically still, you're the head coach of the title manager.
Yeah,
am I correct in saying
Skipper,
that?
Our pitching coach, Frank Anderson, would always call me Skipper, and it's kind of, I don't know, I kind of like that concept. So whatever it is, you're serving that role of writing out the lineup, So it's interesting. With recruiting, you have to respond to every email and every text possible, but I had to give up on my phone, so I apologize to everybody. And one of the first texts was nice, but also sarcastic. I think from you, it was basically like, I miss you and love you, or something. I don't mean to put words.
I think I said, I'll miss you. I sent you, when it was starting to be like, hey, they're closing in on a deal.
Yeah.
I sent him the link from Twitter and just put, I'll miss you forever.
Yeah. So sorry to throw the love out there where it was a little aggressive, but I bring that up just because how this thing broke was very unconventional, and it's the day and age we live in. We were not even at a point where I was going to make a decision, and this news broke on a football Saturday in the middle of one of our scrimmages that I was going to do this. And our assistants were like, I had kind of kept any of the conversations out of the locker room because it can only be a distraction, especially with recruiting.
Yeah.
And now if it was going to get to a point where this is something I really got to decide on, I was going to involve everybody. Well, that all got skipped over by a tweet or what, again, I'm not on there, but I think, Ken Rosenthal or somebody. And I've had a couple people apologize to me like, hey, I just got a job to do. They get word that talks are at least serious. And now all of a sudden it's like, you're doing it. And so I got these texts on Saturday, like, I don't know if it's true or good luck. And I'm like, I don't even know how to respond. And
so that the initial reaction is you're probably pissed off.
Yeah, I was. So I was kind of.
Because mine, I'm thinking like, if this profile's posting about it, it seems like this is going to happen. First manager, it's like congratulatory, like, hey, I'm going to miss you forever. But now that makes sense on the no response. You're probably like, who in the fuck is leaking this stuff?
Well, I was trying to watch Alabama, Tennessee, and I'd thought about going to the game with a donor after our scrimmage, and when this popped, it was like, well, I'm not going anywhere. And I just sat and was watching the game, and it's on the ticker, and I even kind of quit watching the game a little bit, to be honest with you, and I just, for the night, kind of shut it down. And then the next day, some things picked up. Ironically, it ended up being, instead of one conversation with the team and being like, this sucks and crying and everything, it was a 3-parter, and it gave those guys time to share their thoughts on it a little bit with me, including our coaching staff. And I mean, this is a tough setting to break down and cry, so I won't do it here, but
we've cried a lot.
Okay. Yeah. All emotions are welcome here, but
100%.
I will forever be grateful the way those kids texted me, talked to me in person, and then the way the coaches basically said, do what you got to do. And that really opened up the freedom to think about it selfishly, just like, what do I want to do, as opposed to how is this going to impact other people.
Yeah.
So
waiting on some tears.
Yeah.
no,
Let it flow.
he's trying to go the Barbara Walters approach.
It is very hard. I'm assuming being in your spot, even as a player, like if I'm a player on your team and I absolutely love you, it's like when Coach Eckler left Nebraska, he recruited me there.
Yeah.
And whenever he left to go be like a co-defensive coordinator or something at Indiana, and he's kind of telling the linebacker room after practice on around like the 30-yard line, like we're all breaking down because you're like, fuck, man. Part of you comes to a place for a staff or for a guy, and you're galvanizing around this roster. So I can only assume how hard that was on trying to be like, you don't feel like you have the freedom to think selfishly. You have so many people involved. Some of them aren't tipped off. Now they're finding out on the internet. How do I even approach this conversation? Because I know there's going to be broken hearts. It's broke. I'm assuming you're broken hearted. It's just, dude, it's tough.
And you're sitting in a situation where you haven't made the decision yet. And it seems like the decision's been made for you publicly. And now you have to go put out what you're assuming is a bunch of fires, and you're met with, like, it seems like empathy and love.
Yeah, no, it affected things greatly. And at the end of the day, it was a difficult decision. And if, props to any college coach out there. Coach Eckler's a stud and back at Nebraska now. But when you switch in college, you don't get to breathe for a year minimum just because of the nature of the turnover. And now I'm in this weird stage where it's not like we're hiring a staff. There's work to be done, press conference, all that. But it's not that drinking from a fire hose that you have. So in a bad way, it's freed up a lot of time to just reflect on those relationships and things like that. And it's tough, but staying in motion is a good thing. You guys are doing what you're doing because you guys are constantly kind of pushing the envelope. And Dana White did what he did when no one else was doing anything active. He got active, and now he's reaping the benefits of it. And I don't know that the sport would be that popular if he didn't push the envelope during COVID or during a time where people weren't in motion. So hopefully, who knows how this thing will go, but I think staying in motion is healthy, and hopefully it'll benefit me. Again, kind of a selfish decision, but Tennessee will be all right. There's some players in that dugout the next few years. So
the future Giants.
Yeah, I'm all for that. That's going to be a touchy subject.
I bet that's going to be hard for you too, because now as a manager, you're not the GM, so you're not pulling the trigger on draft picks, correct?
Correct, but it's such a
but you sit there and you're like, hey, this guy, and you're the one evaluating the ball players as well. Yeah. I'm sure there's a level of bias you're going to have to fight.
If I'm a player, I'm hitting them up.
Hey, listen, I know they're saying a little higher, a little more money, but I think the Giants organization has always been very well thought of and kind of a family vibe. So far, it's been enormously welcoming to ideas and to working together. So I think all of us are going to have a voice when it comes to stuff like that. But like the decision you were talking about being skewed because of personal feelings or stuff that's out there, probably got to be a little careful about not loving on those guys too much from my standpoint.
Yeah. That is. Was there ever a point when this news starts to break where you're like, fuck it, I'm just going to stay here? Was there ever that much second guessing involved?
Yeah. When that first hit, it was like, any competitor kind of bows up when someone tells you one thing that it's not true or you don't believe in it, you bow up and want to do the other. And so I got good advice from a guy who was a mentor of mine, Sean McCann's his name, and he's like, dude, just take a timeout. You don't know where that came from or why. And so it was good to kind of take that night to reset. And then, it's like these kids I talk to on the phone with college decisions. I mean, when you're getting recruited by SEC schools, you can't really choose wrong. I mean, you're going to think it if you're working at Tennessee and they choose Mississippi State or, South Carolina or whatever. But the only way to make a decision right is just to move forward and make it the right one. Yeah. So, no going back now.
Was getting in the MLB always like a North Star for you?
Never. Just because I didn't think it was possible. I mean, I knew enough as a son of a coach that I wasn't skilled enough, that wasn't going to happen as a player. And then I always thought, one of the reasons I went to Missouri and walked on University of Missouri was I always thought you pretty much, and this is true for the most part, you finish or you coach where you finished playing, like that level. And I know there's exceptions. So I took a big risk and walked on at a Division I school because that's what I wanted to do. But having never even been in pro ball, I didn't think it was possible. And then the last couple of years, some conversations have started where the interest was piqued. And, I'd hate to finish coaching without at least trying it. And
Were there any other MLB teams you said in the last couple of years that were interested?
Nothing significant. You know, you mentioned agent. You know, Jimmy Sexton's got his hands full now
God,
since every.
he's your agent,
Yeah,
but
and that's
the least one
well,
everywhere.
let's
Jimmy
back
Sexton.
up. That stems more from a guy.
You don't know how it leaked.
Well, that stems from more of a friendship and a tie. He went to Tennessee, so that's kind of more. And of course, baseball's not. It's become more his field, and really, he's impacted the game in a great way. He gets a lot of credit for coaching salaries and where the trend is going right now. So kudos to him. But that's kind of how that relationship worked out. Obviously, he started with Reggie White, and he's been in football. And man, these guys, I can only imagine how much you guys have discussed college football. This firing guys in the middle of the season,
Dude.
it's crazy.
I get it, but I get it, but it happened at an SEC school baseball wise, and I wasn't there, so I'm not talking ill about any decisions, but you looked at a schedule this guy had in front of him, and it's like, this team is going to win a lot of games. And if you get in the postseason, anything can happen. But they get rid of the guy in the middle of the year, and again, the schedule got a little more favorable. They had good players. Just, you guys are athletes. The season has a lot of ebbs and flows. And I've been on teams, especially 2 out of the last three years at Tennessee, we started out really weak and we finished really strong. This past year, we started out like a ball of fire. And we finished okay, but we were doing so well at the beginning, everyone thought we were just going to steamroll everybody. So a season is an entire body of work, and I get it. It's a different sport. You guys know it better than I do, but right now is wild.
Bro,
and
I mean,
Lane Kiffin can only take one job out there.
It seems like he's taking all of them.
Or stay.
or yes, or even stay. It is nuts. It's like we were talking about, what is it? Arkansas, Auburn, LSU, Florida, with
Possibly Ole Miss.
With Lane Kiffin
Yeah.
talk Ole Miss.
That's an insane, and then not to
Still
mention
more
Penn
jobs to
State's
go.
up there.
Still more jobs to go.
Relax with that.
A lot of ball left.
Lot of
Not
ball
saying
out
Michigan's out there. I'm just saying.
Hey, what are you doing?
You never know.
Now he's just doing the thing, sure. We shot a reaction show a little bit ago, and we're really having a good conversation about football and college and all these head coaching jobs. And then I start talking about Michigan and how I want to see the passing game develop.
Sure.
And he's like, a lot of head coaching jobs open out there. And I'm just like, what are you doing?
Harsh. That's harsh. Well, if anything, you got Morgan Wallen coming to the stadium. You got to be excited.
Was that July?
Yeah.
That'll be nice. That'll be nice to see. Zach Bryan, he did that, set the record, and now Morgan's like, not on my watch.
The
Gotta
big house.
get that thing done. Yeah.
That place gets rowdy, huh?
There's a lot of them there.
Yeah.
I think that's probably Michigan's biggest knock on a game day atmosphere is it's not very loud for how many people are in the building.
Yeah.
But I think it's a structural thing. Has to be.
Yeah.
Can't have 115,000
like Tennessee.
It's sprawling.
Tennessee straight up. It's like, it is a way different sound. Tennessee, LSU, A&M we went to, Nebraska, even 92,000 there.
Yeah.
It's very, very loud. And then you go to Michigan, it kind of just bows out a little bit.
Sure.
We were talking about this before. If you just you have the suites that they were putting in when I first got there. If you just kind of put those in next to the big screens and then take out the wood and put it in aluminum, I think you've changed the game right there. A couple $100 million. That's all you got to do.
I don't know why they wouldn't outsource you for this information.
This is it, man. I got a lot of good ideas.
What happened in Tennessee against Oklahoma?
I don't know. That was rough. And even more rough was trying to keep one eye on the TV of watching Game 7 and then watching the game as well. But, I was up there, and Peyton and those guys can break down football better than I can. But it was just a real frustrating game. And, people seem to be a little sour on our defense. But I don't know. You win and lose as a whole team. And, Coach Heupel's always done well with the offense and the quarterbacks. And the vibe is always good over there, in the building. So it's the SEC. And it's the same for you guys, too. I mean, when it's that high level of competition, it can go one way or the other. And unless you're in the locker room, you don't know if there was a vibe that swung it one way or the other.
And we were just talking about the chaos and people, just these emotional decisions on firing coaches mid-year. It's like after the Oklahoma game, even Heupel's name's getting brought up, and Lane Kiffin coming back to Tennessee. It's just, guys, we've got to calm down.
We've got to relax. Yeah,
I'm sure
Lane Kiffin's going to make $50 million a year. So he's got a bidding war going crazy right now.
I'm sure he's been known to get back with an X or two back in the day. But there's something to be said for consistency. And when I was coming up at Missouri, I spent more days on the bench than I did on the field, unfortunately, but I knew I wanted to coach. So I was surveying. It's like, what's consistent about some of these best programs? And a lot of it was that word consistency. When a group can stay together and build some synergy and keep things going, the recruits stay on board, and relationships with the donors. I think there's a lot to, maybe because I'm defensive of coaches, but there's a lot to be said for riding out some storms and giving somebody some freedom, because if you're in our league or one of the best leagues in the country, you're going to take blows. You're going to dish out blows, but you're going to take some too.
What's the consistency look like? Like, this will be a very broken question, but I'm very curious. Like, you being a player, and you be like, I spent more time on the bench, unfortunately, than playing. But as you're observing, what is the consistency like? What are the things that in your mind you're trying to build a resume or a portfolio for you knowing you want to be a coach? What are things you're seeing, like when you are in the locker room as a player, that you're observing that's like, I'm going to take some of these things, knowing that I've experienced it as a player, into coaching?
I think probably even on the sheet of what to do is even on the sheet of what not to do. And, how to approach guys and what freedom to give them reaction-wise, the freedom to be who they are. You kind of mentioned that earlier. That's all good, but it's got to be under the framework of the team. So it sounds real vague and real easy to say, but balance is huge. And like I said, that balance sheet of learning and watching, probably equal to what not to do, is just as valuable, and there's just as many lessons learned there as what to do.
You're probably learning it too in real time. Like, a coach might have a wrong message of trying to address something and be like, I know my teammate or this player, he's not taking it kind of the correct way. This could be a way to get the messaging that the coach wants across, and, mixing it in with kind of the player mentality. I've always been fascinated with that, because my thought, if I wasn't podcasting, is I would get into coaching. So I'm just,
not too late.
Curious.
It's not too late.
I know, you never know, man. Look, if Rule can't get it done, Willie C might have to get into
Give me
coaching.
5-6 more years with this man. He can go do what he wants after that. I'm really enjoying doing Bussin with the
or
boys
if Rule
right now.
just needs me, it's like, give me a couple more.
That's a real thing too. That's a thing that could happen in the next couple of years. Is maybe like the linebackers don't do well in Nebraska, and they will call Will and be like, hey, can you just coach the linebackers for a couple of years? That conversation's real between me and Will. We've had the conversations of like, if you go, what's our game plan?
I think it should be. I mean, as far as the thought of who to hire as a coach, so many times, that I've been a part of interviews or coworkers, and we're kind of doing this now. We just talked to a guy. I was like, I'm thinking about just quitting my job and starting a company with this guy. Like, it doesn't matter if it's working at a pizza parlor or tech industry or coaching or podcast. Like, this guy would be good. And I think, there's some similar traits for people that are successful across the board. And like I said, fortunately or unfortunately, I was sitting on the bench a lot. So I didn't have any skills in, but I got to watch a lot of people that I think had that set of skills.
Yeah, had a good correlation. What were the nerves like and stuff as you're interviewing for this job in the MLB?
Because
you this is a different, first ever.
It is. Well, the other thing is you're talking to Buster Posey, and that's a guy that I had started coaching, but I looked at him, in college and watched him in college almost as a fan. And then to see what he did in Major League Baseball, he's one of the biggest winners ever in pro sports. And I know that was the concept of bringing him on and making him a part of the front office now. So to talk to him, I mentioned to Jimmy a couple times, like, hey, you got to let me talk to some people other than Buster, because it's impossible not to talk to him and see him for who he is, you know what I mean? And just keep it normal and regular. So that was a big part of the process. But I guess when you're in a good position, and I didn't hand in a resume or seek this out. It kind of presented itself to me. So I felt rock solid in what was going on at Tennessee, and, new stadium being built there, and the next couple of recruiting classes are ranked real high for whatever it's only worth so much. But
yeah.
I think that kind of changed the tone of it too.
Yeah.
Now that you're out of it, how is the NIL? Speak on the NIL. How has it been changing the game in college athletics, particularly at a baseball level?
Yeah, it's a disaster. I'm in this weird, again, we all have thoughts that are probably, you dream a little bigger than, I kind of have this weird fantasy or vision of like, okay, can college and MLB merge together a little bit and help each other? And I wouldn't be the main, I certainly shouldn't be the patron of either, but I could connect the right people and get this thing where it's a little more fluid. But the one part MLB can't affect is just where NCAA sports are in general. And it's just a mess. And I would say the biggest, I'm doing this off the cuff, hopefully no one wants to slash my tires, but it's like you're driving in the fog and you can't really see but about 100 or 200 feet in front of you. And, you're grasping for what's real, what you can do, what you can't do. And again, I'm sure someone will throw out that I did something wrong or I didn't do this, but overall, it's very frustrating when you don't know the rules to the game. And I hate to keep beating up the topic. Of course, there's judges in UFC or boxing, but I love those two sports because it's two guys locked in one spot, or it could be gals, and just who's better. And that's what I like more about anything. I mean, I almost wish too, like Oregon, you should only be allowed to have a certain amount of uniform combinations. You should only have certain square footage in a locker room. Like, let's find out. That's the whole point of athletics or competition, is like, let's find out who can do it better. But when you really don't know what the rules of the game are, or they're so lopsided in favor of Tennessee over Middle Tennessee State, it's kind of hard to have that nose-to-nose competition.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's the Wild West. There's going to be like a crazy documentary about all the NIL that's taking place. How does it work for baseball players? Like, do baseball players get full scholarships now? Because when we were in school, it was like, baseball was getting like 40%. Like the most you could get is like 50%. That's like, hey, this is a really good baseball player. He's at this percentage. But now NILs come in, so you're paying these guys. But do they have full scholarships? Like, how does it all work?
Yeah,
now?
So to make it overly simple, so they're used to, when I first started coaching, it was 11.7, pretty much for every major program.
11.7. What does that mean?
Scholarships. So if I sit down with you and your family and we love on you all weekend, official visit, you go down on the field for the football game, it'd finish in the office with a here's your scholarship offer. And you try and do your best to make it seem as big as it can be, because it's not. In average, if you do the numbers, 11.7, you'd get to about 43%. So not even half of your cost would be covered. And it's like, we love you, but to come here, you're going to have to pay $20,000 a year, out of state kid, let's say.
Yeah.
It's just awful dealing with that. And then the NIL is actually like, this is in football, this is a mess. But in baseball, it's kind of helping, like, hey, you got no cost. We'll just figure out a way to combine everything. And then we go into the new territory where the rumors became true. And it's like, I'm in the portal. You want me? My first phone call, they said this number. What do you guys got?
Yeah.
And some of those two kids literally walked to my office like, what is it? And I was like, nice to meet you. Are we even, So now
some of these kids are getting so over the top about it, they're not even really introducing themselves. There's no small talk. It's like, what are you willing to offer me to come play at your school?
Yeah. And again, no offense to them or no foul on them. I mean, it's what I keep saying, what you don't know. I mean, if their phone call they get from university or whoever is right out of the chute, this is what we're offering you, then that's kind of what his expectations are. And now we're at this new place where we can offer full scholarships at Tennessee. Not every school did that. And I mean, we're talking big time program athletic departments did not boost their scholarships. So you can offer full scholarships if you want as an athletic department, but it's not available. And then you got this rev share thing, which is real money, but some don't get any. And then you got NIL, which again is hopefully getting sorted out, but we're still in a very gray place with that.
Yeah. And are you even able to like vet if they're getting this offer outside from another university?
That's a great question.
I'm sure you can eventually, but it's like, Coach I was talking to, even with college football, you're not even having real exit meetings to talk about what the player can work on or develop. They're kind of walking in and be like, hey, this is what I'm hearing from my agent. There's really no conversation to be had unless I get X, Y, and Z. And it's kind of the bulk. That is the exit meeting,
which is bad for the development of players. In the football world, at least. I don't know how it works in baseball, but if you can't coach a guy hard, he's not going to get better at these small things. And you're going to see it in the next couple of years where the level of play on the field is going to get worse because the technique's not as good because the guys aren't getting coached the way they should. They're just getting more and more money because they're naturally talented.
Yeah, I think it's kind of already started that way. To backtrack a little bit, the one thing is and again, no foul play on an agent. If you're an agent, why wouldn't you say, hey, my guy's been offered already kind of between this number and maybe you make it seem a little better than it is. How are we supposed to know? And the recruiting in the summer goes like that. I mean, it's a whirlwind. So, but I think development, a word that I kept coming up with is sequence. I think there's a sequence that takes place in the development of an athlete. And for some guys, it comes quicker. Some guys, it comes slower. But there's definitely a sequence you have to respect. And I think all respect for that has gone out the window because coaches you got to make a choice what's your approach. But all of us at some point have tiptoed around something because of the threat of the transfer portal or a guy being disgruntled. And then two, for a player, it's like, it's not going well. It's not going as well as I thought it would. So I'm out. And I thought the coolest thing, and I know I'm fortunate enough to know Peyton because of the university, but when people talked about Arch Manning leaving Texas, one of my favorite individuals I've ever met is Archie Manning. And if you know that family, it's like, that dude ain't going nowhere.
Right.
He's going to see that thing through, and he's going to make it happen. And I followed a little bit. It seems like it's going decent.
Yeah, last couple games.
Last
for
couple
sure
weeks
he's
for
been
sure has been going
But I think
better.
because of the background of that family, there's a respect for that sequence of development. And at some point, you're going to get knocked down and you're going to have to overcome some challenges. And if you wait till too long in your career, you might not know how to handle it.
Yeah, it'd be very off-brand for Archman to be in the transfer portal. If he went in, I think it'd be a massive shock to anybody if he was going to go somewhere else, based off of the adversity they was having up until these last couple of games. You talked about every coach at some point is kind of tiptoed around some things. What are some examples of you tiptoeing around? That you're like, I shouldn't.
Thanks a lot.
Maybe. Well, hey, we're out now. Wait, this is fair game. You don't have to say names.
Well, I mean, there's one that's pretty well documented. I mean, the thing is, sometimes you find out a guy is leaving, and
You find out via news or a text.
well, on the recruiting side, you get a phone call, and we had kind of blossomed, and now all eyes are on us. And I think we could have coached a kid that was a superstar, but you get a call, and it's like, hey, this guy's got 7 or 8 SEC offers. What's your guys' offer? And it's like, well, and trust me, I'm no saint, but at the time, it's like, we got too many eyes on us and people are throwing out, certain things. We didn't move on it at all. But it's so weird because it's like, I just watched this guy on TV. He's playing for a different school and yet shopping these other ones. So there's so many different situations in recruiting that pop up, and that's one. And then with coaching, I had to coach a kid that was really talented that we knew he was out the door. We knew the minute we made kind of a change in role that he was going to be out the door. And we had a short conversation in the locker room, like, what do we want to do? And finally, we made a lot of group decisions. In this particular case, I was just like, this is what we're doing, but he's going to leave. And then knowing that you still have season left, it's kind of like, the firing coaches in the middle of the season in college football. Sometimes it's a different way you get there, but you might still be able to have a successful season if you can just kind of keep things on board. So that was a tough one to deal with.
Yeah, these decisions of all the schools, when you're getting calls from agents being like, hey, we have an offer from this school for this much. What's one school that came up the most? It was like, hey, LSU's got a big baseball pro. They're always kind of offering the most. Like, what school does it seem like to you is like always offering the most?
Well, I think, as far as NIL.
Yeah.
Like, thank goodness. I thought you were talking about me.
No. I'm talking about like you're fighting for a kid.
Yeah, I think there's a few certain ones that seem to be more organized out of the chute. But you brought up LSU. It's like, it's a religion down there. That culture is so different, and not just in sports, but just in life. It's pretty cool to be around. Just the vibe. You're not going to go hungry if you're walking around down in Louisiana, and that vibe is sports is life. And then in the state of Texas, it's, everything's bigger. It is true in a lot of different ways. And down there, it's like, who can throw out the bigger wallet or the bigger amount. So, and then there's traditions at other sports too. And there's some quirky niches that are out there. So it honestly, it varied. Now I'm not in college. Maybe I could throw something out there, but it honestly varied, where some were really organized out of the chute and then others made adjustments. Oil money's real.
Oil's money. Yeah.
And then you guys see it, like, fan bases are loyal. And I don't, I've been in Columbus, but Ohio, it's a big city, and Ohio State football is it. That's the main deal going on up
they
there.
got all the money in there, don't they?
What are a couple guardrails you'd put up in college baseball with the NIL and the portal? It's like for football, like, I don't know the portal windows and stuff in baseball, but in football, I want to say the main one opens up in December, yeah? Or
it's like I thought it was the first week of January.
Yeah,
it might be that. I know it's shifted a couple times, but it makes it very hard to where it's like, hey, if we're gonna do all of this money stuff and everything else, like, just make it a free agency type window.
Let it happen.
So that
in
way,
March.
these kids, like, some of these decisions aren't getting made. Where if there's still some season left, or like right after it's happening,
and there's teams playing in the playoffs that are like focused on the playoffs. Other teams are not making a bowl game. Some bowl games.
Yeah, but being with our sport being a spring sport, and this is totally off the cuff. I don't have a stance one way or the other, but some people are in favor of guys being able to transfer and play if you transfer it semester. So right now, somewhere out there in the SEC, there's a kid that's realizing this isn't the place for me. But he's good enough to be in the SEC. Why can't he transfer at December at the end of the semester and be eligible? That creates a big mess, but that's an option out there. And then, moving the portal dates, I don't know that it'd affect our deal too much because so many of these conversations start before they start, So our deal does start, I think in the middle of regionals, and it creates a bit of a mess. And now you're trying to win a regional and, recruit a kid, or a kid's trying to win a regional, but he's already, got 1 foot out the door. So I think it's kind of nature of the beast. A lot of this stuff starts before it actually happens. And I don't know how you safeguard or put up, rails against that, but that's why there's smarter people than I in higher paid positions.
Yeah.
Would that be like tampering?
Yeah, and that's a word that gets thrown out a lot. I think what the actual definition of that needs to be put out there. And I think, again, someone will say I did this or that, but I think pretty staunch penalties against that would be wise. But there's always back channeling stuff. When agents are involved, and again, they've got a job to do. When agents are involved and they can technically be a middleman or a third party, it throws everything out of whack a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, even in NFL, like there's a tampering period before the free agency period that's like well known. It's like these guys, as soon as like free agency starts, if it's like 2 p.m. on this day, it's like 2:01 p.m. These 10 guys are getting signed to these massive contracts. There's always tomfoolery about.
Sure.
But it's like, that's like the name of the game, right? Like you find the rules and then you exploit the rules with the way they're written to put your team in the best advantage you possibly can.
Yeah, I've tried to say, with the NCAA in particular, I've seen a bunch of rule changes. And again, I don't know necessarily what's best. You just find out what they are and you try and do your best job. But anytime you make a rule or a law, to me, you should always hire a criminal and say, how are we getting around?
Yeah.
If we're going to start a casino, you would want, I think you've had some time at the tables.
Yeah,
correct?
right. I played a couple hands. Not as a criminal. Fair game every single time.
How do we hire a criminal?
No
Taylor,
sunglasses.
You know what he's talking about, right? Yeah, well, actually.
Yeah, but find out what are the ways around this, and maybe you can prevent it. But there's probably always going to be a gray area, and I guess if anything, kudos to people that are aggressive trying to make it happen.
It's such an interesting world. The NIL is just so crazy right now.
All right, quick potty break. We are brought to you by Neutral Vodka Seltzer. Have you tried Neutral? If not, you are missing out. Neutral is so much better than any seltzer that the boys have tried. It's made with real vodka and real juice. That's what makes it delicious. Comes in a variety of flavors, watermelon and orange to name a couple, and their new flavors, lime and strawberry. Perfect to bring when hanging with friends because it's such a crowd pleaser. Whether you're bar watching the game. Let me try that again for you guys listening. Whether you're at a bar watching the game in the backyard with friends or at a tailgate, bring Neutral. Neutral, keep it tasty. We are also brought to you by Roe. Roe Sparks are a 2-in-1 prescription treatment for guys who need a secret weapon against softness. Guys, get Roe in your life if you are having problems downstairs. Roe Sparks can give guys bigger, thicker, longer erections because they get fuller faster and they dissolve and work in 15 minutes on average. And if prescribed, new sexual health patients get $15 off their first order of Sparks on a recurring plan. Connect with a provider at roe.co/bussin to find out if prescription Roe Sparks are right for you. That's ro.co/bussin for $15 off your first order. And to bring it all the way home, we are brought to you by True Classic. The new Curve Pima shirts are incredible. New softness, new material, fit very well. Got a little curve in the side, a little length in the front and back, and snug your arms and chest very well to bring out those broad shoulders that you do have. And with holiday season coming up, you want to hide the gut a little bit. That's what True Classic does for everybody. You can find True Classic at Amazon and Costco, Sam's Club, and Target nationwide, or online at trueclassic.com/bussin. Look good, feel good, play good. Let's get back to Tony Vitello. In the MLB world, we in favor of a salary cap?
To an extent. To an extent.
We need you to draw a line in the sand. Now. Yes or no?
I'm trying to stay out of trouble more than. Although
you've done a great job of doing the allegedlys, and hey, people will say I did this, but
would you like to see a salary cap in college baseball?
Yeah.
I do kind of like what. It's delicate because America is built on pushing the envelope and trying to outdo people in capitalism and things like that. But in the spirit of competition, I do like when things are even. So, where the balance is between those two as far as what you can pay people, I don't necessarily know. But
yeah, look at the example of the ESPN and YouTube TV right now.
Yeah,
as far as fighting for
The
capitalism.
viewers,
Yeah,
the viewers are
leveraging.
losing right now.
Yeah,
On both ends. But we were just talking about the Dodgers and how the Dodgers, it's bad for baseball. The Dodgers won. This is Mitch's take because they can pay more money for people. Also, they have a crazy like vet tunnel from like Japan. The most disciplined people ever. Like the people from Japan love Dodgers. If you from a giant time zone works out the whole thing. They got a nice little tunnel though. They got a nice little tunnel with the Dodgers. When you look at the Giants, is this like a franchise that can spend a lot of money? Do they spend a lot of money?
Yeah, they're aggressive.
Okay, good. Good. So we're in a good spot.
Yeah, I think so. You guys want to jump on board?
Yeah.
Hey, wait, listen.
Part-time
We have some money
advisory
that hasn't
committee?
hit our account right now. To where a couple years ago, somebody was on the podcast and said,
What'd they
that
say?
would- I think they said that they would give their salary
Two Bussin' with the
yearly
boys.
salary to Bussin' with the boys
If-
to win a national title.
And did that person win a national championship?
He did that year.
Did Bussin' with the boys get their salary?
They did not see $1.
Can you pull up that individual's salary
So
from the last
everybody
year?
tuning in, whether it's
Don't pull that
San
up.
Francisco, new viewers rooting on your next manager. Coach Tony V was on. We sat down with him out in Tennessee for Bussin' with the Boys an episode, and a question we like to ask.
Oh, damn.
A question we like to ask is, what would you be willing to do to win like a national title or a Super Bowl?
He
Super
did.
Bowl. And Tony V was on. He said he'd give us his salary if he won a national title. That year, we went on through the first pitch here in Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah.
They go on to win a national title. So we've been having guns pointed at Tony V like, hey,
You have.
where's
and
that salary?
I
Or
failed.
are we getting it? We dipping into the new salary.
We could come up with an agreement, especially because I failed. I've been running around, we're interviewing people, but the plan was to come in with a briefcase full of IOUs. 275,000. You might want to hold on to that one.
Yeah, it's
But,
a great
We will
dumb
sink
and dumber
that into
quote.
the San Francisco Giants.
Might want to hold on now. It's a big one. You might want to hold on to that one. Yeah. So we'll get on a payment plan. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
like, I don't know, like 10,000.
I mean, how about a beverage? Like now that at least I'm not molding young men and having to recruit, I actually won't be fearful of being seen with a beverage in my hand or
There we
anything
go.
like that.
There you
so
go.
we'll start with if I see you guys a free cocktail, and then we'll just keep the tab running until
You
it
might
hits
have to have
a
us-
million.
You might
Every
have to
time we
have us
run
out.
into you, like buy us a coffee or something like that.
Sure.
No one
All
had
right.
the national title win. You might have to have us out to throw a first pitch to get that World Series title.
I'm 100% down with that.
Yeah, we need that. We're going to need that.
Here's where it starts. Would you be willing to give us your salary this year with the Giants if you win a World Series?
A good chunk. A good chunk.
What
Yes,
you
I
needed-
would.
Exactly.
I would.
What you need to say right now is yes. Then we do the first pitch thing, and it might just be written in the stars.
I've written in the stars.
Then you never give it to us.
I would do that. I would do that. And
You would
make-
actually give it to us as
Yeah, and then I'd roam the streets of San Francisco, and there's got to be a company that's having enough success there that amount of chump change to them.
Get in on
they
an
can
equity
support
deal
the
out
cost.
there.
Yeah, that's a perfect city to just
so we have a
blindly
deal.
give out money.
Yes, we have a non-handshake deal for the non-handshake deal for the record.
Oh, bro.
What else do I have? I have a question.
Oh,
So it's like coming up through high school when we were younger. It's like it seemed like if you get drafted or go into the farm system, that could be a better route to the MLB versus like going to college. Has that shifted a lot due to the NIL stuff going on in college baseball?
You know what?
And is that a good question?
Yeah, I think scouts were real fearful of, hey, we want to give this guy, $800,000 in the third round, but he's going to get pushed to college. And I think there's been examples people can point to, like, hey, they bought this guy out of the draft. I think there's probably more of that with returning players, like a sophomore or a junior that could have left college X and gone to the draft. Maybe he's more inclined to come back because he's already ingrained in the community. He's getting this NIL set up. But I think it's like anything. It's case by case. I don't think it was as rampant as maybe scouts feared of, man, I'll put all this work in on this guy. I know he's the guy I want. I go to the front office, but when we call him on draft day, he's like, nah, I'm good. I'm getting six figures from a college.
Yeah.
So it skewed it a little bit, I think, but
So my follow-up, is that where some collaborative efforts on bringing college baseball or the NCAA into like the MLB in some sort of a way?
I think if anything, an understanding instead of both sides wondering what's going on. And hey, I always kind of kept my distance because I've just kind of been I've lived my life in the clubhouse. I mean, that's my family away from my family.
Yeah.
But there's probably already been some continuity between college coaches and pro teams, but might as well open up the avenues and everybody have a full understanding of how it works and what goes on so that people can make the best decisions without, looking back on it with regret.
Yeah. So I feel there's a lot more nuance as a high school player coming out.
Yeah.
With potential to get drafted, potential to go make a lot of money in college. And
Yeah, it's still so.
the development in a certain organization that you might want. Like, I'm just assuming here, like if I'm a player and you're a massive fan of you or development of you, and you could get a call coming out on draft day and you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place of wanting to go into this organization, but getting a lot more big dollars to go play college baseball. I could just see where it's a very nuanced decision that an entire family is making.
I think it can be an X factor. At the end of the day, I think a lot of decisions are made ahead of time, and it's like maybe a fallback on something like that. It makes me it confirms that's what I want to do, or just gives more conviction to the decision.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of these guys, man, it's in their DNA what they want to do ahead of time, and then you've got the first round is unique. It's if they're making you their number one. They're committed to you more than any other player in that draft class to make it to the big leagues. It's hard to say no. And of course there's finances that come with it, but I think there's very few swing guys where you can change their mind. I think more times than not, it's kind of in the DNA, so to speak, what a guy wants to do.
I appreciate you being open. I'm very ripe when it comes to all this baseball talk.
Yeah. Same. How long, if someone's picked in the first round, what is like the average amount of time it takes them to get to the big leagues?
Yeah, I mean, we've got a kid now that it'll be interesting to coach him because he said no to us and committed to Alabama. But Bryce Eldridge is a guy who's, 21 years old probably and has already seen what it looks like in the big leagues. So again, that sequence can happen different for various guys, but to go from high school to the big leagues, you got your outliers like Brett Anderson was a left-handed pitcher, and Andrew Jones, who can make it at year 20, 21. But I think on average, it's probably 6-7 years.
Really?
And again, I'm throwing that out. All this stuff is just my vantage point. There's other people you could bring on that are either have varying opinions or are different experts. That's CYA. But I think in general, you're looking at a long march into the big leagues. But there's reasons why clubs can show kids it's an advantage to get into the organization and start your pro career. And then there's also college coaches that can say, look, if you're playing in the SEC, you're actually speeding up the process to make it to the big leagues because you're learning how to handle media and, compete at a high level, deal with fans, knowing what you got on your Instagram and yelling at you. And then you've seen it too. There's proof in the pudding with guys who almost go straight from our league to the big leagues, whether it's Skeens or Christian Moore, guys like that.
What do you think what will you miss most about coaching college baseball?
I think just from seeing this weekend with a college football Saturday, just the youthfulness, the youthful energy. Having said that, there's a donor who lives here, really good dude. I'm watching Game 7 of the Blue Jays Mariners, and he's texting me because it kind of gotten hot and heavy at this point. You're better around kids and that energy thing. And I'm watching the game, and I get that, and I agree with it. But if you were watching Mariners versus Blue Jays Game 7, and you don't see two dugouts full of kids, and again, you guys have experienced it in pro sports, like it's recess. You're wearing a damn uniform and
still playing, still having fun.
Yeah. You're behaving as if you were a kid, and you're playing a kid's game. And then when you take the uniform off, your life is different because you're an adult or you have a family. But I think that's the essence of the fun moments of sports is you get to see guys being in that character of being a kid, but you're seeing it at the highest level athlete.
Yeah, especially when you're in the playoffs. Why does MLB have 162 games?
Why do we do that? Gotta get that money.
Making a lot of money.
Very
making a lot of
money
coming.
Yeah.
That's
Very
so
ripe in
many
this world, but
games.
just so many games.
How many games are in college baseball?
56 regular season.
Okay.
And then, of course, you start the postseason with the conference tournament and all that. So you can end up playing about 70 games if you have a successful year, maybe a little bit more.
Earlier in the pod, you're talking about you starting off slow and then getting real hot towards the end. Then this past year, starting real hot and then kind of being okay towards the end. How is it as a coach, manager, like motivating guys when you have that many games? Because football, it's like every game kind of counts. If you lose one, it's like, guys, if we lose one more, like we're in a bad spot making the playoffs. With you guys, it's like you drop 3 or 4. It's like, hey, who cares?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the biggest thing is, and that was something people cautioned against me, a distaste for losing can really hurt you because even a good season, you'd lose 60 games. So you better learn how to deal with that. And again, I haven't personally experienced it, but on the college level, even at 56 games, it's like we beat Alabama. Coach Heupel's good enough to have me in the locker room, and the guys have cigars and things like that. You got a game the next day. So you really can't do that in baseball. And then when you lose, after a loss of you prepared all week and it comes down to the last play, I can only imagine how down of a feeling that is as a coaching staff. Next morning, see you in the office at 6 a.m., breakdown video. I'm sure Coach Eckler would just sleep there. You can't do that. It's go home, get a good night's sleep. When you take, the old one kind of mental deal is when you take your jersey off, the game is over in baseball. Some guys will roll with that. So yeah, it's a lot bigger sample size, and you got to learn to roll with the punches a little bit more, and you can't get as hyped up as you do running out of the tunnel.
Dude, it is so fucking cool that you were the first manager to kind of make this crack into going from college to the MLB. When you are in your reflective stages, your reflective state, like what are some moments you look back on that you're proud of, that you persevered and stayed the course, knowing that you are now in this spot? It's fucking awesome, bro. Especially if you go on, win World Series, and like
the level of humility you've had, you're like, yeah, we'll see if it works out and all that. It's like, we all know the competitor in you is like, you're going to crush this, but it's like you're the guinea pig and you're kind of figuring out like, is this going to work? Because if this works out for you, you're opening up a door to every college baseball coach. And it's like, it's a sick opportunity that you're being able to pave the way and be different than everybody else.
No, that's a source of energy too, that other people might be able to do something that they normally wouldn't. And it's not going to be me. It's going to be just the general concept. And I think there's starting to be an understanding of, I didn't ride all the buses in the minor leagues, or I didn't have the talent to make it to the big leagues. And I'm speaking on all college coaches. But the time these guys have to invest in recruiting and learn how to deal with people and watch games. I mean, you watch 5 or 6 games on any given day in the summer through recruiting. So you're around baseball as much as anybody. So if there's a little bit stronger of a bridge there, that would be pretty awesome to be a part of. But, reflecting on what I persevered through as a player, speaking of crying, at Missouri, there's a couple times where I was just like, I'm working my ass off and I'm not getting rewarded the way that I should. Is this worth it? And there were a couple days where I was just going to quit as a player. And I didn't, see it working out like this, but if I would have quit as a player, it wouldn't have worked out as a coach. And then too, as a coach, it's kind of like being an insurance salesman, recruiting. I've heard no so many damn times. I think, again, you only see the successes, so maybe people think it's different. But even at Tennessee, you hear no all the time. And it's negative feedback, and it can beat you up. So to keep pushing through it is pretty huge. But, yeah, it would take me a while to reflect on the whole career. There's a lot of ups and downs, strikes and gutters, as the Big Lebowski says. But, it's been awesome to be a part of some of the teams I've been around. And ultimately, it starts with players. So, again, I think the concept started of maybe a college coach involved, but it started with them having an interest in our players. And then, 2, I've gotten credit for being around guys like Kyle Gibson's a Major League All-Star guy, coached. We could go pick somebody up off the street. They could have coached that guy. I was just fortunate enough to get a yes from him in recruiting, And Max Scherzer is Max Scherzer. But every time I address a team, I can bring him up because everybody knows him and I'm friends with him and I coached him. And you can almost kind of take credit for some of the things he's done, but you've seen that guy pitch. I mean, he is the definition of creating your own future.
Yeah.
So that's sick, man. You will be successful, and whatever moments you do reflect on and come up with, it can be part of your book one day. It just won't, Wiley will not go biased that we got to have him on the bus.
Yeah.
As you're going in the majors. And not only that, but we got to sit with you like before you went on that the national title run. And to me, it's just sick that we have this relationship and you've allowed us to interview you and you came on the bus. And when you are fucking successful one day and you do win the World Series, like, I know for us, this will just be a cool moment to look back on.
Like you talk about taking credit for what some guys have done. Like, you're a perfect example for us. When you win a World Series, we're like, look what we did.
Yeah.
The 3 of us.
No doubt. I'll be taking credit. I'll be taking credit for you, for sure.
Like, we helped will the Giants into a World Series. Like,
no
with
doubt.
the boys.
Well, if we are going to manifest or whatever, and we win a World Series, if you guys get to be in the clubhouse with the champagne and everything, what is that worth dollar-wise? Do you see that being like
that's a good
$1 million?
question.
Put me some
500 grand a piece.
Yeah, that might be worth 500. Put the cool goggles on.
dropping the gram.
Those ridiculous
for a moment like this.
snowboarding goggles.
Now I remember you were out there and you threw out that first pitch, and I was like, well, shit. Or do you have eligibility? Or
yeah.
But then did you have? Again, I'm not on social media.
No, yeah, we're not on social media. But go ahead.
Then was there one that wasn't as successful?
Yeah.
And I'm not being facetious. I'm trying to because the
so
one
he looked like a good, big, long lefty when he threw that first pitch here in Nashville.
It was good. It was real good.
Thank you. And
We
I'm
went out
glad
to
you
St.
brought that up
Louis.
because everyone wants to look at St. Louis and be like, that's the sample size. Like people forget what happened in Tennessee. Here's what happened.
Ball got away from you.
I tasted the success.
Sure.
And I felt good about it. A couple of your guys and the volunteers were like, hey, not bad. I'm like, used to throw a little bit back in the day. So we go to this Cardinals game, and I'm thinking, I'm just going to throw it as hard as I can. Like I'm going to try to throw heat, get on like ESPN top 10. Sure. And got away from me. Didn't bring it around.
Yeah.
And can I be honest? Since that day, I've had the yips. To where we go and we go to the Royals game, and I throw one that's a little too high, and it's better than that one. But it's like, let's get back to the basics.
Sure.
So we'll be working on the side. He gets the ball in his hand, and you feel the confidence. But the moment you step in the big leagues, and he's got that ball in his hand, it's like it just starts shaking.
I'm a AAA guy. I'm never going to be, I'm a dude that's going to ride the bus for 15, 20 years.
Well, I don't have all the answers, but I'm in Nashville, so maybe we need to play catch and train a little bit.
I should have called you during this process.
You know, if anyone's listening out there that has that opportunity, the number one advice I would say is don't try and throw it hard. And you did better than like 50 Cent tried to throw hard, and he's muscled up, and Conor McGregor tried to do the same thing. So just a little touch pass, if you will.
That's the thing, though, is it would be very easy for me after that Cardinals game to go and just kind of throw a muffin, get it in there, no problem. But it's like, am I going to take that way, or I have to like kind of keep the same process
now
and
you
try
have
to throw hard? Now I have to conquer throwing hard.
We can do it out in St. Fran.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to.
Maybe after this podcast, we get out there and we get a couple gloves.
Yeah,
just give me a couple pointers, throw the ball 10, 15 times.
I should have brought all these materials. I'm upset the no suitcase with the IOUs. Should have brought a ball and some gloves.
That's all right. I can guarantee we'll be out in San Fran sometime.
Yeah.
I can guarantee that for you.
Bring it on.
We'll be out. I think we're officially a bus with the boys, San Francisco Giants fans, right? Yeah.
We
are now?
Very
Please, I'll send some gear.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
We'll have
it's black and orange,
in. Spooky.
Now the Super Bowl's in San Francisco, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Will you guys set up shop out there doing anything?
We will be out there.
Yeah, we'll be out there. We haven't got it set in stone yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got a spot for us to stay?
We can arrange that. I've got a.
What's going on?
I don't know that I should. So, Gabe Kapler, there's a place that's been talked about. Bob Melvin was the last manager, and I didn't get to say it in the press conference. Shame on me, but he reached out to me and was a class act and was very helpful. And then the manager before him was Gabe Kapler, and Gabe was in pretty good shape, and I think enjoyed the city. So I'll explain how that involves a living arrangement when we're off the air.
Yeah, fair enough. Sounds like we'll have a big enough place to stay when we come out.
We'll make sure that happens anyway. But there's the official invitation, and man, what a cool! I want to see that stadium as well. Our park, you guys will absolutely fall in love with, but I want to go out there. And John Lynch reached out right away. Obviously, he's involved in the organization.
That's awesome.
Great dude. And then if I can meet Coach Shanahan, because those guys like Al Wilson and Peyton that know him through, his father with the Broncos, I always asked about him, and they say the guy's an absolute superstar.
Yeah, you got a great football team that would very much probably rally around the Giants.
Yeah.
Good crew, good locker room out
there.
Good locker room.
I probably shouldn't have it, but I was given George Kittle's number, and boy, would it be fun to take part in some shenanigans with that guy.
Yeah. Have you reached out to George yet?
Well, it was a group message.
Gotcha.
So
yeah. George is the perfect guy. He's the type of dude that he'll get DMs from guys and become friends with them.
Yeah.
And they'll be at his George Kittle Fest. Yeah.
And not just DMs from guys. I'm talking like this is like meme group DM.
Yeah.
People he doesn't know that like Xbox fans, and they'll be out at Kittle Fest.
Yeah.
Because he's like, oh, you're my guy.
George is
from the Northeast. So like, and I'll be like, oh, how'd you meet George? They're like, oh, we're on the same kind of like Xbox team. Like we just kind of DM every week, and people drop like different just memes in the DM, and George will respond. And now they're out here at Kittlefest in Nashville.
Yeah. So George he's the perfect guy to get in with the 49ers.
That's a true clubhouse team. That's why every kid should at least be on one, take part in one team sport. That clubhouse mentality. It sounds like he's the definition of it. What the hell's Kittlefest?
Kittlefest.
It's here?
He
It's
has
here.
it
It's
out
in
here.
Nashville.
Yeah, Kittlefest. It's Kittlefest. You don't know how to explain it, but it's
Every
massive,
year is a
it's
different
fun.
theme. It's out at his farm.
Okay.
Food trucks,
Jelly Roll. He just randomly comes and plays.
Yeah, people performing,
Beer
and
games.
George just throws a party.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Jelly Roll. Man, that guy says something to you, even if it's just a regular sentence, it feels like a sermon. It's awesome. We might have to have him speak to the team if we go through any poor streaks.
Absolutely. He is the nicest guy ever.
He is.
He really does have.
Do we want to hit him with the Bud Light question?
Go
What
ahead.
an opportunity for him to say, I'd be willing to give my entire salary to you guys if we win the World Series.
Yeah.
But we can hit him with the Bud Light question. So Bud Light, people would do anything for an ice cold Bud Light.
Absolutely.
What is something that you would do anything for?
Well, I wouldn't stand in front of a gun with Kid Rock, that's for sure. It was just Halloween. For an ice cold Bud Light, I'd be willing to go back to my I didn't wear a costume this year, but kind of the one that I regret or look back on the most was Kramer in Seinfeld. Once was trying to be an underwear model. So there was one time I roamed the streets of Columbia, Missouri, with just tidy whities and some Doc Martens, I think, or some shoes. So I'd revisit that Halloween costume for an ice cold Bud Light.
Hey, that's
I like
outstanding.
that.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. Columbia, Missouri.
It's a fun town.
Yeah.
It's a fun town.
You're a
It's-
part of some interesting teams.
It's a little chilly, yeah. A lot of personalities there, and yeah, it's interesting. I like the loyalty thing and being a part of one place, but when you explore new areas, you meet people that you never would have met, and you pick up on different cultures. And I look back on the 4 colleges I worked at, and wouldn't have it any other way.
So to juice up the Seinfeld clip, would you be willing to throw us an image of you back in the day?
Again, is this an off-air thing or is this going up on?
This would be
This is what we'd love
this would
to
be
just
on
have.
social media.
Now I can't. I got to do something between now and spring training. I got to get in shape if I'm going to be in uniform around these guys. But back then I was in decent shape, but I don't think it was anything to brag about and have the whole world looking at. That's for sure.
Yeah.
that's
Hey, that'd be
what
so
AI's
funny,
for.
bro.
That's what AI's
AI.
for. Sure, you'll handle
That's
that
what he
no
looks like.
problem.
This is a throwback photo.
God
Him wandering the
bless.
streets in tidy whities.
Yeah.
Well, dude, congrats on all your success.
Thank you.
It's awesome. Ground floor.
I appreciate it.
And thank you for taking the time to come here. and
No,
join
this
the
is
boys on
awesome.
the
Anyone
bus.
who would ever get a chance to do this would be floored. And, Coach Eckler was good enough to hook us up a few years back. And fortunately, it went well enough. I didn't screw it up. But, you guys had floated the invite. I knew something crazy had to happen to actually step foot on this bad boy. And I appreciate it. Maybe one day down the road we can do it again.
Where do you guys do
after the
spring
World
training at?
Series.
Scottsdale, Arizona. The
Mecca.
The Mecca.
And I've never got to do the waste management thing. My buddies do that every year, and I'm
You
in a
will
group
love it.
text. Bruce Bochy, he was another guy. These I'm blown away because, in the SEC, there's high level of respect, but you're at each other's throat more than you want to be. And I got the job, and all these guys reached out to me with either text messages or phone calls. Managers now in the MLB or former managers, and Bruce Bochy, who was with the Giants and with Buster, he lives here, and I was able to sit with him. But one of the things he said, a lot of great advice, but maybe the thing that jumped out the most was he said, Scottsdale, Arizona during spring training is like Mardi Gras.
It is,
And,
dude. It's a zoo. I grew up in Arizona, and every spring training, it was like a flood of people coming in. Always something to do, somewhere to go. You're gonna love Old Town Scottsdale. And if I could just give you a piece of advice, if you want a team bonding experience,
Yes.
take your boys to Zips. Go to Zip. Hey, am I wrong? Hey,
Not wrong. He's not
there
wrong.
it is.
Yeah.
Get some golden
Yeah.
wings.
Call Zips. Rent out this place. Get yourself some golden wings for the boys. Some Monaco focaccias. You get the whole team in there, but you're gonna spend $1,200 to
Yeah.
feed your entire team. but you're going to walk away full bellies and full hearts. You guys might win it all based off of this one experience.
We will set that up 100%.
It is, and we'll come.
Hey, how awesome would that be? It's like the players are like, Coach apparently has some nice dinner set up.
Yeah.
Drops the location, they pull up, see Zip's
Sports bar. And he's just like, Taylor told me to go here.
Yeah.
But that
bonding.
is, well, Zips sent us a gift card for $250, which is like a month worth of Zips. And we have talked about like flying into Arizona for one day just to get Zips and come back.
Yeah.
But now spring training, boys.
Let's go spring training, and then also, so those guys are training for the big league season. You come down, you train for a first pitch in spring training.
I love it.
And then we get you ready for a real game in San Francisco.
I would love that.
Zips is the icing.
Zips is the icing on the cake. We're gonna do a full day of training, get the elbow nice and sore, and then we're gonna go feed some Zips, and that elbow will be just fine. It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be awesome. Coach V, he can just tell him we got a couple sponsors that lined up at dinner for us.
Yeah.
We'll just be standing in there.
Bring all the fellas, man.
Dinner on the boys.
Dinner on the boys. I'm telling you.
Chef, before we get off, or Jack, any questions for Coach V, being sicko Vol fans?
Not a question, but a thanks. You truly embody what it is to be a Tennessee Vol and took Tennessee baseball into the forefront, brought us first natty. Truly incredible. The whole fan base, I can wholeheartedly speak for them. We will miss you and wish you the best of luck with the Giants. And yeah, I'll be tailing the Giants now moving forward. So GBO and whatever, go Giants. So.
Thank you, brother.
SFG.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, also thanks here. You're actually the reason I have a job here. I did the documentary on Hunter. I don't know if you remember, and I interviewed you. That's the reason Jared, when I was an intern, he said just off of that alone is kind of how I got started here. So appreciate it. Appreciate everything you did. Vol baseball has been such a great, since you got there and turned the program into what it is now, it's added just another sport that we get excited for. And it feels, anything that we can root on, the orange and white is the best. So thank you and best of luck.
Yeah, well, thank you, man. That's a cool story, and you did the work. So it goes to show
I didn't
you.
even know that with the documentary. That is cool.
Yeah. I mean, if you do good work, someone's gonna notice. So good on you for that to happen. But I'm glad we had a part in it. And overall, just it almost like anytime you're talking to a Vol fan, you feel like you're talking to the whole group. It's just a representative at that. So as far as that exchange goes, I got more out of it than anyone else did. And it couldn't have happened without all the ingredients are there in a great city, obviously phenomenal place in the fan base. And then you mix in college baseball. If you haven't been to a college baseball game and you're listening, you got to go no matter where it is. It's become a party and it's a lot of fun. And you're seeing future big leaguers for a much cheaper price, not that there's anything wrong with the San Francisco Giants prices, but no, the appreciation is mutual. And dude, I didn't know. My dad's like, well, how was the feedback or whatever? Because he cares, and you got to grow thick skin. But I went back to the football game Saturday, and just entering the stadium, stuff that people were saying on the street, I was like, again, to use the tears theme, I was like, I got to duck my head and get in the stadium because this is emotionally overwhelming, and people don't have to do that. So I appreciate it.
I think part of it, Josh Elander stepping in, I think a lot of people have trust in him. And do you want to speak anything on that and kind of tell Vols fans what they can expect? I've heard some really cool stories about him being in Canada and wildfires, or maybe it was California, and drove home for his wife's, he was doing recruiting, wife pregnant, and then got back out, just these crazy hard work ethic stories. Do you have anything you can attest to that?
Yeah, to a fault, going back and forth and being on top of the recruiting thing for sure. But no, I feel like, I get the hat. I feel like I'm still a part of Vol Nation, but really, truly being a part of a victory, that was the last victory I was a part of. And it was a small part of it. Really, it was the players spoke up, the agents that he worked with, the summer coaches, the players that are in our recruiting classes. He was the guy that was heading all that up. And, just because there were some moments, maybe you accidentally touch an umpire or bump into an umpire, I should say, you get a little more attention than you deserve. There was a massive group effort in that building to try and get the thing, going. And he was just as big of a part of it as any. So he's the right leader, but there's also the right players on the field. And then also it'll keep that culture going. And there's something, like I said, consistency of that culture. Tennessee baseball, for whatever reason, has a vibe, and the fans contribute to it. So the fact that vibe's going to keep rolling fires me up. Should fire everybody else up too.
Fires me up.
Yeah, good.
Thank you, Coach.
Fires me up.
Before we get off, do you have a piece of advice that you've latched onto as you're making this transition?
Again, I think make a decision and do it like hell was something that a family we talked about earlier kept revisiting with me, and the thing I've always latched onto from a mentor of mine with these recruits is the right decision is the one you make. Unless you look back on it or you second guess or you regret things. So those are somewhat corny ones, but I think impactful at this point. But more than anything, I'm just going to enjoy it. Again, I'm the guinea pig, so whichever way it goes, I'm blessed to be able to experience it. And the organization has blown me away so far in how they do things. So I'm going to learn a lot and have fun doing it. And we'll see if we win enough games for you guys to be in the locker room one day.
Let's go.
Yeah. Coach V, you're the man, bro.
Thank you guys.
very much.
Appreciate
you.
Thank
Bro.
you,
Let's
guys.
give a round of applause, Coach V.
Thank you.
That's for the boys, official Giants fans. Official.
Big
Big
hugs,
hugs,
tiny
tiny kisses.